This is Big O Show. We told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's just surely probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. Judge Sports Radio Show with Orlando, aka the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat. Well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Lollipop in the Big O Show. Oh, radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the money. It's a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O. Survive is the best of the best. Got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big sports with a style. Break it a morning, it's Big O. Keeping you glued in. Stay tuned because right here's where the rumors in. Same place because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just stay. Talk sports, talks the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it. Call him and let him know. Culture, probably Pablo. You know, now introducing the man of the hour, Big O.
Good morning, boys and girls. Yes, sir. It's time to have a little fun on a just stuff to talk about. We got a guest today on the show. I don't really like forcing the guest issue just to have the guest. You know what I mean? If there's something going on, then we'll address it. If not, we'll, find a way to have conversation and come up with all kinds of stuff to talk about in the world, obviously, because we got a lot of things going on in the world. Sports and music, as always. Music's always a tie into this show. Found something really cool I want to talk about later on the program. So we got Bill by my side, as always. Many ways for you to contribute, as I'm seeing the chat board growing instantly here since we got on. And you can, obviously, those of you that are on the YouTube chat board, you're already chiming in. Good morning to all of you out there. And you can always chime in there. Share also this link on YouTube and share it with your friends. Send it by a tweet. Send it by a text, Facebook post, all of that. Very important to share so we can spread the love and grow together, which is a beautiful thing. And, of course, you can reach out to us, like it says right there, on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786 322-1105 on email, Orlando at bigradioshow.com. That's the other way to reach out to us. And, of course, on Twitter at Big O Show. Follow us there, as always, because that in itself is a 24-hour talk show. So we await for all of these leagues to come back. And nobody's going to come back this month to play. Now, we're hoping that this is the month where all these leagues start to practice again, right? I mean, baseball's got to come to some kind of an agreement. The MLS is also kind of, facing a lockout. So we'll talk to Kobe Price at 12:30 from the Sun Sentinel, and we'll ask him about that. Baseball-wise, I saw where the owners now are offering a 50-game season. And look, I'm appreciative of anything that we get back in sports, okay? But baseball, 50 games, that's not a season in baseball, man. I mean, in one of the articles that I was reading, they made a great point. The Washington Nationals won the World Series. They were 19-31 in their first 50 games. If you're only going to have a 50-game, baseball is one of those weird sports. I remember there was a season where the Boston Red Sox came out of the gate, right? And they were terrible. I mean, terrible. They won like 3 games in the first 30 or something. It was like really, really bad. Then they went on this tear that they were the best team in the majors. And then if I remember, month of September, they caved right back in again or something. I forgot what it was. One of those funky seasons years ago. And baseball's so long, not easy to be on your game right from game one. Lows, and you've got they had all with pitchers.
I was just going to say the Yankees traditionally don't start playing ball until after the All-Star break.
Right, exactly.
That's 70-something in. The year the Phillies ran down the Mets when I was up in when they won 5, 6, 7 weeks to play. It was ridiculous.
50 games is not a
Remember
is not
Colorado?
A
Remember Colorado the year they got in the series? They went on that. They won like 39 and lost 3, or it was stupid. It was ridiculous.
This is the equal to the basketball season playing 30 games or something. Which, why have a season then at that point? 50 games baseball is nothing. The games is what it takes to get your rotation going in baseball. Yes. I mean, that's how crazy
pitcher,
it is.
Probably stretched out to 6, 7 innings until the 50th game.
Yeah, not only but good that, like, confident in a groove. You just had them in spring training. We never got to the regular season. So now you're going to have a 50-game regular season, then no pitching staff will be ready to go. It's really nuts. And I know maybe this is all part of the negotiations. Well, if you guys want prorated salaries, well, because we're not going to have fans in the stands, this is what we can give you prorated is 50 games. And, the players came back with a 114-game, proposal, which, by the way, 114 games, that feels like a season now. That starts to feel like a season. 100, you're already playing with the borderline. You go 80 and already looks kind of funky. You go 50, it's a joke. In baseball, anybody that's followed baseball, anybody that really cares about baseball and really knows baseball, 50 games is not enough, man.
Yeah, you're right. Midpoint 81. You need to be at least 30, at least 110, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, in a year like this, 100 is 100. Okay, you got to do it, and that's fine. But 50? To me, if you're doing 50, you're really not making an effort. You really don't care about actually keeping the season going and keeping it alive.
It's a half-ass.
Yeah.
It really piss-poor effort.
Yeah, it just doesn't make – that's like football playing 5 games. That's really what it is. It's football. Yeah, we're going to play 5 games this year, and then we're going to go into the playoffs. Huh? You can't do that. And so 50 to me is just one of those numbers that I just don't know how you satisfy the public. And if you're baseball, you gotta go out of your way to satisfy the public. You're the one sport that keeps losing ground every single year. And if you don't play, you definitely will lose ground. Okay? And if you play 50 games, I can argue that that's basically you not existing. I mean, think about that. You're going to play just, 2 months of a season? Because that's what you play in 50. You play 50 games in 2 months. So it's a 2-month season? That's really, and I get it. We're getting to a point where the weather becomes a factor. Now, we could eliminate that too if you're going to have maybe neutral sites for the playoffs and you keep them down south. then you don't have to worry about the weather, and you can go into November and December.
Should be able to do that. You got no fans in the stands. It
Right.
isn't like your crowd is going to help your team.
Yeah, you can rotate between the cheaters in Houston and then Tampa and Miami and Phoenix, and you can have those four like rotate. Hell, you can even have Los Angeles because nobody it's not cold there in wintertime, so you can actually use Dodger Stadium if you want. In fact, we can eliminate Tampa. Sorry, Tampa, your place is a dump. So what we'll do is we'll do the Diamondbacks, we'll do the Dodger Stadium, we'll do Houston and Miami. That way you get all the time zones, right? And you can stay away from the weather. If you want to do that, obviously that's going to be a problem for a team like the Nationals that may want their home field advantage. You know what I mean? But if we're in December, we can't play in Washington in December. It's just baseball in the ice cold is not. Again, we can't do this. You know what I mean? So I just want, look, I'm one of the few that wants to see baseball back. Okay? Because I know the majority of the regular sports fan nowadays, they don't really care about baseball. It's older people that want to see it back. And I want to see it back because I don't want to see it. I see it continuing to lose traction. I see it continuing to lose interest. I see nobody, really, people they don't check in about baseball, man. You guys are asking football, basketball questions, and even soccer starting to trickle in.
Oh, is it more about the fear of it coming out worse than the way we came out of the 94 season?
Right, exactly.
This may be the nail.
Deeper.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. You're burying it deeper. And 50 games, you will bury it deeper also. Your audio is coming in and out. Call of Duty 1 says.
That is the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right now it sounds good.
No, in the beginning. Beginning, like I said, it was flickering.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Is it fine now?
It's kind of solided up.
It looks fine now.
I haven't
raised the volume.
I haven't seen you freeze up, man. So
I hope it sometimes happens. Let's see who we got. Let's go with a little. Man, you guys have not wasted any time with the super chat. John Rouse is in the house, and he goes super chat. Thank you, John. Appreciate you, my man, as always.
Good morning, sir.
John is a good man. He either visits us at Caneswear, at Toyota of Hollywood, brings us brownies.
Here, we're going to give John props and Nico a shot.
Yes.
Nico has slipped and has not made appearances the norm.
Well, no, wait a minute. We haven't been at Caneswear.
That's
because Caneswear has been closed.
Yes.
I think they just opened now.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll get back there. And remember, Nico lives close to Caneswear. That's why.
And his wife is involved with medical, right?
Yeah. So that's probably what it is. He hasn't come by the other places because
just
probably out of his way.
Semi-dig on you, Nico. That's all.
Right. That's right, Nico. You got to show up. We got to show up. So we got John Rouse in the house. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you with the super chat and a sticker, of course, with the thumbs up. So appreciate that. Always love the stickers. Bromar Smelly, Ian from Brooklyn, Jordan Knighton, Jean-Luc, NorCal, Josh, Flipside Fishing, Matthew Walker, Omar Lopez. Let's see, what else do we have here? DJ Gallagher, Piester 83, Boss B99. Who else? Super Boom Shack, Call of Duty 1. So many of you. Omar Lopez. Genius, tell us how sports radio hosts can speak for 3 hours about sports when there aren't any live sports occurring. Enough already. I know, but we do it every day, don't we? I don't know. Somehow or another, we're pulling it off.
I guess you're faking it pretty good, man. Smoke and mirrors and
yeah. I mean, we're still doing 3 to 4 hours of talk every single day here, no matter what.
It's an illusion.
Yeah. So NorCal says we're screaming perfect like 72. I like that. So Miami Kid J, Alexa V, Dougie Fresh, Jesse in Minneapolis, Troy Ortiz. The list is growing. We thank all of you out there as always. Share it. Also, share the feed as always with folks out there. Also, want to say our thoughts and prayers to the Unseld family and to the Washington Bullets family and now Wizards family, as Wes Unseld has passed away at the age of 74. The MVP and Rookie of the Year of the 68-69 season, a 5-time All-Star, a 4-time NBA finalist, and a champion with the Washington Bullets back in the 77-78 days. A great player, a classy man, and obviously will be missed. 74 years old, sadly passed away. So our thoughts and prayers to Wes Unseld and family, as always. So I wanted to mention that before we get going. I saw that this morning, and it was a sad note to lose Wes Unseld. Well, I tell you, I've said it many times, 74 is pretty good. Once you hit that 75, I think you hit 76, I think you're kind of already playing with house money. Whatever you live in that last quarter is almost like icing on the cake.
May my folks have many years of house money.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's just it's a blessing when you're getting up there, man. That many years, that's pretty cool when you're able to last that long. So bless Wes Unseld. He is in a much better place, and 74, hopefully great years for him. So unfortunately, we end up losing Wes Unseld.
Just to touch back on the 50 offer, is this a negotiating tactic to meet in the middle to counter their 114? Hopefully,
I'm hoping.
Right?
I'm hoping. I mean, they can't have. I mean, but it's such an extreme from 114 to 50. If I'm the baseball, like if you're Mike Trout, why would you risk injury for 50 games now? Think about it. It was $7 million out of 34 for the, I think it was a half games or 100 games, 100 games. So what's he going to get for 50 games? $3.5 million? If I'm him, I'm like, that's not worth it for me.
Every big money player, man, that's over 10 or 12 million,
he gets.
I'll see you in 21. Thank you.
I don't know who his glove is, Spalding, Rawlings, whatever the hell it is. He makes more from that probably in 1 year than just the $3.5 million that they would pay him, or $7 million. So if I'm Mike Trout, I would not even play 50 games. If I'm Chris Sale, I'm not risking injury where you had me in training camp. Now I'm out for 3 months. Now I got to get back to training camp again. No, dude, no. Forget it. I'm better off. You know what? I'll train for next year. And that's it.
Any of the players
myself.
Any of the players dealing with any injury.
Yeah.
I'll take the extra recovery. See ya.
And that's the option also. The option is you can opt out and not play. And that's going to end up happening. So you're going to end up with 50 games, and you're going to end up without stars. No 50 games and no stars. How's that going to help you?
So whatever you thought your lineup was going into the season, you're 25. It's not going to look that way.
All right. It's going to be 29 other Miami Marlins. No stars. Right? I mean, it's not that I want to pick on the Marlins, but they're at a point right now in their franchise existence that they're not there yet. They're hoping these young guys turn into stars so then they can hopefully sign those and show that they're committed. But at the moment, they have no stars. So that's basically what it's going to be. It's going to be a baseball league without stars for 50 games. That doesn't make any sense. That just doesn't make any sense. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. And we go with Boss 899. Boss B99, I'm sorry. And I wonder what B99 stands for. But thank you, Boss B99, giving us love on the Super Chat. Love it.
You know, I noticed one of the names following, DJ Gallagher.
Yes.
Is that in relation to the game? I have to, because that was my game.
I don't know.
I have to ask.
Maybe he's a DJ
You know?
and he likes
It's Gallagher.
Gallagher.
That's
so
what
it's
I'm
kind of
wiring.
a combination. So he goes, I like Gallagher. I'm a DJ Gallagher. There you go. Or maybe that is his name, DJ Gallagher. Boss B99 says he loves the show. So, Boss, thank you for loving the show. And give us a story behind B99. Why B99? That's interesting. Boss is one thing, but Boss B99, what does that mean? But appreciate it. As always, thank you all for keeping it locked and listening
99
to the show.
99, what goes to your head?
Yeah, maybe.
No, what do you think? 99.
Oh, Toto.
Really?
Yeah, that's all I think of.
I Gretzky.
I think Toto.
Gretzky first.
Okay. Yeah, Toto for me. Because I love that song.
Then obviously Judge.
It's a great song. Great song. Rosendo says, good morning, the 78 Bullets. Last team to win the NBA title on road in game. R.I.P. Wes Unseld. Last team to win NBA title on road? No. I was in Dallas full of champagne for the Heat. We won in Game 6, remember? They didn't win Game 7.
Wasn't Michael's last game in Utah? Game 6?
Yeah. Yeah, but Miami was even after that. He said
I'm
team.
just.
I don't know. Maybe Rosendo means something else. Last team to win NBA title on road in game. Because the Heat won it also on road. And the Mavs, the 06 title was on the road.
Cleveland, when they beat Golden State with the block by LeBron.
Yeah.
That was in Golden State.
I don't know. I'm not sure, Rosendo. Maybe you meant something else there, and that's not what it was. Jordan 9 says, why doesn't Russell Wilson get put in the conversation for top 5 QBs? I don't know. I mean, in the NFL, he doesn't get. I doubt that, Jordan. I'm not sure what conversation you're talking about. I'd like to know what conversation is that so I can tell them that they don't know anything about football.
There are some screwy things that don't make sense. Like,
But
I don't think
in
Russell
today's NFL
I don't-
right now, how do you not have Russell Wilson in your top 5?
I don't think is it Russell Wilson's never had a first place MVP vote. Is that right?
I don't
Did
care.
I hear that?
I don't care about that stuff.
No, but
But Russell Wilson is one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL.
I'm just saying, getting the props that he should, getting the recognition that he should, getting the acknowledgement. He's short. In my opinion,
early on, I understood. You weren't believing in him and all that, but by now,
especially last year, man, his stats, dude, it was
just not like
he's a winner. He's
last
a winner.
4 or 5 years.
He's a
the
winner.
guy's a freaking magician.
No, but last year specifically, his stats were
Yeah.
MVP worthy. Okay?
Yeah,
is my point. And
I'm not sure. You got to explain to me how people are not putting Russell Wilson. Now, are we talking about top 5 all time? Now, that's a different conversation.
No.
That one, maybe he doesn't belong in the top 5 of all time. Okay? And maybe he does. It could be subjective. That one is fine. But if you're talking about the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now or in the last 5 years, Russell Wilson has to be in that mix. If he's not, then the person putting that list together or having the argument, I would tell you and I would tell them they don't know nothing about football. Okay?
Let me ask you, all.
They know nothing. That's all I would tell you.
Do you feel he gets his just acknowledgments and recognition?
I think so.
You do?
Yeah.
See, I think that he's not – he just – that MVP, like, man, this guy's better than that. He deserves more rewards.
Maybe I haven't noticed it, but I don't know. Maybe it's me. Matthew Walker says Cavs in Golden State, then vice versa. Yeah. Boss B99 says, I got the Boss B nickname in the Army, just added 99 for the username, no meaning for the 99. LOL. I got you. All right. Let's see. Vicken says, "Hey guys, what's up, Vicken?" Let's see what else. Rosendo said that's my mistake. Okay, that's cool. All right, no big deal. Anyway, so if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can reach out to us at 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. Tomorrow, we will be at VSS West Pines, okay? 12397 Pembroke Road. Come on out and join us. Thursday, we'll be out at Toyota of Hollywood. There you go. See, here's my little Camry. This was the color I was going to get, the red one. It's got the panoramic roof and everything. See? So there you go. Check us out on Thursday.
I still think you need to go ask them if they can paint the car your car.
I'm going to talk to Steve Ostrov on Thursday. I'm going to say, "Hey, so I got this prop here for our show. Since we are a proud representative of Toyota of Hollywood, and obviously I drive a Camry, so I figured I'd show off a Camry, and so I gotta approach Steve Ostrov and see if he could paint this car the color of my Camry. So that's what Bill says that I should do. I really wanted to get. That's near impossible to find my color. But
even the die-cast metal, the car looks awesome.
It does look great, doesn't it? The red one does look good. You guys want to ride? I can give you a ride. Come on in. Climb in.
50 people just called shotgun, bro.
That's it. That's it. Put your stuff away. Go ahead. All right. There you go. It's all there for you. So Thursday we'll be at Toyota of Hollywood. All right. So come on out and join us at 1841 North State Road 7. Come on by and say hi. RVA in Richmond says, "Big O, my brother, what if all police officers or each precinct get boned? Each write-up or complaint, it goes against their bond." Huh? What if all police officers or each precinct get boned? Or did you mean bonded? I don't know. What you get? RVA. You gotta help me out on this one. Do you understand that question? What if all police officers or each precinct? He spelled boned, BONED. Does he mean bonded? Each write-up or complaint, it goes against their bond. Yeah, he's got to mean bonded, right? If each precinct gets bonded. So each write-up or complaint goes against their bond. So then it goes against your funds. Yeah, but the write-up or the complaint has to be a legitimate one too. You know what I mean? So I think there has to be some kind of a third party that is investigating everything, because the problem with police departments is that they're constantly protecting their own. And so for a lack of a better term, they don't police themselves properly.
There's not enough third party outside. The situation with the way the autopsy came back, the one from the county that works with the police, blah, blah, says this, and the one that the Floyd family did personal says that. The district attorney works with the police to,
right.
It's like there needs to be an outside third party probably in every situation.
It's like the NFL commissioner. He's not really working for the players. He only works for the owners.
No, worse than that is MLB, man.
Yeah, well, but I mean, I'm just saying, just
they're in bed. They're in bed together,
and so that's the problem with the system. So it has to be a group of individuals that are not tied to the police department, because that's our problem now. They protect each other. They hide each other. Same thing with, I've said it before, the Catholic Church, what they've done with their priests. They don't give them to the authorities. They go and hide them somewhere, and they put them somewhere in some other country up in somewhere. You don't see them anywhere except for, James Bond can find you up in the mountains somewhere, So you're in a monastery hidden from everybody, and you're a freaking child molester. And they do nothing to their priests. It's the same thing. And we have to, that's how we cross that bridge. But, I mean, that's one way of doing things, I guess. How about just firing your ass? You know what I mean? That's really what I would like. Because once you start firing officers for these actions, and once you start charging them, okay, for assault and murder and all that, and they start serving, because, see, the Derek Chauvin thing is nice, but it's not enough yet. I don't care that you charged him. That's nice. It's nice that he's being held. It's nice that you charged him, but I want him convicted. When I see you convict him, then I believe you're willing to make a change. Okay? The Steve Poherence guy, if you don't fire him, then I know you're not willing to make it. That doesn't. The Poherence guy does not need therapy. Let's understand that. Therapy is not going to fix that anger issue. And that anger, if he's by himself with a minority, and it's just he said, she said, they're going to take the word of the cop, and then the person is going to suffer. Because that guy lost his cool in front of everybody with an innocent woman that was doing nothing except legally, quietly, peacefully protesting. And he slammed her to the ground.
On her knees.
Yeah, I don't, that guy has no business wearing a uniform. So this is not tolerated anymore. It's nice. It's a first step in a legal process, but I need the legal process to now start working in favor of those who are being abused or killed. Okay? When that system starts to defend those that are being killed, those that are being abused, okay, then I will believe that we're doing the right thing. This is nice, but it's not enough.
Are you going to be you or?
Oh yeah, let's go.
A 30-minute.
Yeah, no, it's
is a 30-minute legit.
No, it's 11:34. We did 30 minutes. You're straight. What can I tell you? All right. Let me tell you about VSS West Pines. We'll be there tomorrow, 12397 Pembroke Road. Go see Jose and all the great people out there. Jason, Tommy, just awesome people, well educated when it comes to all the CBD products. And you also got to know that when you want CBD, you want quality. You don't. There's a lot of these mom and pop places out there that they're not carrying CBD of high quality, so it's not going to have the impact that you're looking for. So if you're looking to relieve that anxiety, right? You've got that stress, you've got pain. I want you to go to VSS West Pines and tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. And remember, CBD is not a drug, not an illegal drug or anything like that. It's the medicinal side of the plant, so you're not breaking any laws whatsoever. And whether it's for you or your pets, they've got CBD products for your pets too, for their anxiety. Maybe you need them to calm down a little bit. They can do that with CBD. Flower, tinctures, edibles, CBD topicals, and salve for pain, transdermal patches. They've got them in every way, shape, and form. And, of course, for all of your CBD needs, from hookah pipes to water pipes to rolling papers, they've got them, and all kinds of other killer little products. I always tell you, it's Barefoot Mailman and Spencer's meets CBD. Check it out for yourself. 12397 Pembroke Road. That's 12397 Pembroke Road in Pembroke Pines. Go to VSSWestPines.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty. Welcome back. If you want to get in on the program, you can reach out to us on the accidentlawfirm.com text line 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us as always there. That's a 24-hour talk show. And you can reach out to us also on email. Email is the other way to reach out to us, just in case you want to send us a video, a picture. That's really the only place I'm going to be able to get it is on email. Orlando at BigORadioshow.com.
You can do green screen.
That's right.
Green screen acting.
It's right there. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there. But for those of you podcasting, as always, Orlando at BigORadioshow.com.
Determined to get you a job in Hollywood, man, because it's all green screen now.
That's it. That's it. I can be a weatherman since I know how to work the green screen now. All that good stuff. Anyway, so we got a bunch of things to talk about today on the program. Props to the NHL. And I know the NHL has got their plan in place and their 24-team, tournament and all that stuff that they're going to put together. And it gives the Panthers an enormous break because they get in the playoffs and they don't have to kind of fight their way in at the end, or maybe even be left out all in all. And it'll be interesting to see how the Panthers can handle this, because you have a slow starting goaltender. And so now he's been off for 3 months. It'll be 3+ months by the time he takes the ice again. And so he's going to start off slow again, probably. And you don't really have a lot of time to start slow here. It'll be interesting to see how the Panthers handle all of this and if they can even last past this round. And because really it becomes a terrible season for you if you really can't even advance in this stage. But I want to give the NHL mad props because the NHL plans to test their players every single day. And I'm one of those that said sports can't come back until they have testing every day. You know, the people that thought of, oh, well, we're going to check your temperature. Get the hell out of here, man. There's lots of people that never, ever cut a fever and they have COVID. And they're walking around and they're spreading it to a whole bunch of people. And there's a whole bunch of us that have had COVID and it did nothing to us. We might have been feeling a little tired one day or whatever. You didn't realize it was COVID. You thought you didn't sleep enough. And it went in and out of your system and you didn't even realize it for a week or two. You know, you had a little bit of cough, nothing. You didn't think much of it. You thought it was a cold. It went away. Happened to you in January, February, maybe even in March, and you didn't realize it. So a ton of people are walking around without any, that's why they're called asymptomatic, right? So a whole bunch of us have done it already. We don't know who we are, right? Because some of us may have killed people, and we don't even know it. Think about that. Just sit down. Think about the fact that you may have had it and you may have killed somebody. How terrifying is that? So the fact that they are going to test players on an everyday basis, that's the only way to do it. It said testing is a must because it's the only way you're going to know and feel confident every time you step on the ice that everyone is in the same boat as you and you can play the game the best to your ability. The first major North American professional sports league to announce that it also has a comprehensive COVID-19 testing strategy. There are screening protocols in place for voluntary workouts and training camp in the hands of individual teams. Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly also said the NHL plans to test all players every day when the games start happening. We will have a rigorous daily testing protocol where players are tested every evening, and those results are obtained before they would even leave their hotel rooms the next morning. So we will know if we have a positive test, whether the player has to self-quarantine himself as a result of that positive test, Daly says. It's expensive, but we think it's really a foundational element of what we're trying to accomplish. Each test costs approximately $125, the league says. Commissioner Gary Bettman estimates $25,000 to $35,000 will be needed to get through the playoffs, a price tag he concedes of millions of dollars. But to get back to work and regular testing is something players insisted on. And that's the right way to do it. God forbid you get this thing and it stays with you forever. Like they say that there's a possibility that it could actually stay with you and create a respiratory issue for the rest of your life. You cannot be a professional athlete if you have a respiratory issue. I mean, that's just common sense. Okay? And the fact that, and I would imagine that the NBA is going to do this. The NFL has to do this. I mean, the NHL is the one league that has the least amount of money out of all of them. Them and Major League Soccer. You would figure those aren't the richest leagues out of all of them. But every league, if they want to play, you got to have daily testing. That's the only way to do it. So I commend the NHL for doing the right thing in this situation and testing players on an everyday basis. This gives you and me a chance to see a Stanley Cup winner. If you do that whole thing about, you're testing by temperature, and you'll have all kinds of, this is the players saying, no. I'm not doing this unless there's testing every day. Good for them, man. Good for them in a big-time way. I give them credit. JC Aleman says you can easily get an antibody test at LabCorp at a ton of locations. Test results in a day. I got mine last week for $10 at a Walgreens with a LabCorp in it. Only problem is, JC, was that a good test? Because apparently some of those things aren't as accurate as they're supposed to be. And that's the problem that I'm worried about even why am I going to take a test that may
What
not
is
even
that?
be accurate?
What is that? Almost like a 50-50?
I don't know.
I've heard the ratio is bad.
I'm not smart enough to know, but I've seen plenty of stories already that these things aren't 100%, accurate. Mark McIntyre says, "Oh, Bob shut out Tampa 4 straight last year. I know that's history. Tampa may have started that series lightly." Yeah, and he had already been playing for months. This guy hasn't played for months, and all of a sudden, now from cold legs, he's going to get between the pipes. I saw what happened at the beginning of this year when he was starting the season. It's hard, man. It's hard to feel good. Let's see. Dam has calmed down since yesterday. Might need to talk politics to pick it up. I don't know what that means. Big O, the most the cop will get is 3 years for manslaughter. Well, then they're not ready for change, my man. Like his Twitter handle says, Dangerous Wilson. Laughing my ass out loud. You're right. That is his Twitter handle. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the AXCOM text. Brian Flores yesterday, different circles that have included some very powerful and influential people of all different races and genders. The events of the last few weeks have brought some of the memories of those conversations back to light. I vividly remember the Colin Kaepernick conversation. "Don't ever disrespect the flag" was the phrase that I heard over and over again. The idea that players were kneeling in support of social justice was something some people couldn't wrap their heads around. You remember that? And I obviously had plenty of, let's just say, colorful discussions with those that kept being butthurt. "Oh, you're kneeling. You're disrespecting the flag." No, they're kneeling for social injustice. Now, are you willing to admit that you were wrong? That it had nothing to do with the flag? And many of us were trying to explain to you. Even people in the military were telling you it had nothing to do with the flag. It had to do with social injustice. Interesting that the players were ripped by some of you, not by all of us, because a lot of us did understand. Some of you didn't. But it took the knee of Derek Chauvin to bring it full circle. What was going on? I'm sorry if I insulted you, but you are ignorant. To understand what the protest was about. Had nothing to do with the military. Even people in the military were trying to tell you it had nothing to do with the military. Even Colin Kaepernick, okay? Who you've ever wanted to be a QB. You tell him, if you're going to protest with a knee. Don't sit. Use a knee. That's not insulting. But yet some of you out there, because that's how this world is, you create your own narrative. And you made it about the military. Had nothing to do with the military. You made it about the flag. Had nothing to do with about the flag. It had to do with protesting social injustice. And it's funny that it took the knee of a racist, disgusting piece of crap like Derek Chauvin to actually wake some people up. Because some of you that were completely acting asinine and ignorant about the knee thing, some of you have woken up. Some of you are like, wow, I understand. I don't know, you needed the knee. And it took the killing of a black man with a knee to kind of bring everything full circle. Now we're going to find out what happens. So he goes on to say, the outrage that I saw in the media and the anger I felt some of my own private conversations caused me to sever a few long-standing friendships. Most recently, I've had conversations about incentivizing teams for hiring minorities. Again, there was some outrage in the media and talk that this would cause divide amongst coaches, executives, and ownership. I bring these situations up because I haven't seen the same outrage from people of influence when the conversation turns to Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and most recently, George Floyd. Many people who broadcast their opinions or kneeling or on the hiring of minorities don't seem to have an opinion on the recent murders of these young black men and women. I think many of them quietly say that watching George Floyd plead for help is one of the more horrible things they have to see. But it's said amongst themselves where no one can hear. Broadcasting that opinion openly, clearly, is not important enough. I lead a group of young men who have the potential to make a real impact in this world. My message to them and anyone else who wants to listen is that honesty, transparency, and empathy go a long way in bringing people together and making change. I hope that the tragedies of the last few weeks will open our hearts and minds to a better way of communicating and hopefully creating that change. Great stuff by Brian Flores. It's pretty cool, by the way. The more you get of Brian Flores and the more you get of Chris Greer, the more you like what you see, what they're doing. And
we are in such a good place, man.
Yeah, with those
we
guys.
We have not been here, man.
Yep.
Our foundation is so rock solid, bro.
Mm-hmm. And look, Stephen Ross is also a very good man, okay? He's done a lot of good things for our community, and he also understands this fight and is very supportive of this fight. I think Stephen Ross is also a real positive to all of this. And he's the one guy that I'm hoping, more than anything, Chris Greer and Brian Flores have a ton of success because that guy's given a lot too, and he deserves to have some success. But it's really cool to see how these guys can actually handle all of these situations. And Brian brings up a lot of good points. And he's lived it. You know what I mean? And he, like I told you, right now is fighting a fight that is so important in the NFL when it comes to hiring minorities. And his success can actually lead to other minorities getting opportunities. So the pressures on him is enormous. The pressure that's on Chris Greer is enormous. I just hope that, his words, I hope the disgusting actions by some the last couple of weeks open up the eyes to some of you out there. And I hope some of you out there that were so terribly critical of these players kneeling that you kind of take a step back and now you understand. And please, stop whining like a little bitch about the kneeling. Like, I don't want kneeling in my games. It's not going on during the game. It almost had like a racial undertone. Like it bothered you that much and they disrupted the game or something. It was pregame. It was during the national anthem. It wasn't at any time during the game. So if your little butt is hurt for kneeling, and it's coming again now, okay? Because obviously it's going to happen now. It's going to happen. It's going to happen in every sport now. A lot. Okay? Hey, listen. Just tell your wife or your friend to tell you when kickoff is coming, and you don't have to watch any of it. And you don't have to get butt hurt, maybe emotionally crippled, whatever it is you are. Maybe your racism is getting stirred up or whatever. I don't know what happened to you, okay, out there. Whoever you are out there. And your little overreacting bitch-ass self. Just wait till tip-off, till they drop the puck, till they kick off, and that way you don't have to worry about the kneeling. Oh, I don't want kneeling in my football game. There's no kneeling going on in your football game. You know what it reminds me of? Remember the guy that was on our chat board the other day and was like, well, how come black people aren't out there protesting when it's black on black crime? And I told the guy, you realize that you sound like a racist. Because you hear that all the time. Right? But how did I spin it on him? Do Italians like stand up in arms about drug dealer? I'm not sorry, not drug dealers, mobsters killing mobsters? Were Cubans like picketing in the streets in the 80s that marimberos are killing marimberos? Were Colombians freaking out on marimberos killing marimberos? And I can go on and on and on. Every class of people has their bad class of people, and they're labeled whatever they are, right? It's like why would a black person go out picketing about gang members killing each other? Why? Because they're two blacks? So Asian people all over are going to be worried about Asian mobsters? What's that famous Asian mob that's the Yakuza or whatever it's called? So what, Asian people are like, oh, Yakuzas are killing other mobsters. No. Only in the white racist eyes of that one person, or many of those that come up with that stupid ass argument, black people should be worried about black criminals. Because that's the only race of people that should be worried about the criminals in their category. Think about that. Because you hear that argument all the time, right? Well, yeah, how come blacks aren't out protesting black on black crime? Who the hell does? I'm sorry?
Talking about crime and race and this and that. Some of the worst people are serial killers. 95% of your
white.
serial killers are white males.
Hey, how come white America isn't protesting on serial killers? Huh? Come on. No more whites with 3 names. So it's like the most racist thing out there to say. Well, how come blacks aren't protesting black on black crime? Well, because those are crimes. They're criminals. That's not what we're trying to protest. We're trying to protest cops that are criminals killing people. Huge difference there, racist white guy. Okay? Black people don't worry about black criminals. Just like Cubans don't worry about Cuban criminals. The arguments that people come up with, it's funny. It's just funny. But you gotta come at them the right way. And you come at them with logic, and then you shut them down. Right? Because when I tell them that, it's they got nothing. Just like when I would come at the people, oh, I don't want kneeling in my game. And I would say, well, sir, ma'am, there's no kneeling going on in the game. It's pregame. It's the Ash. Well, it's not right, and it's just hate. That's all it is. That's all it is. Protesting's been going on forever. And usually protesting, just to educate some people, I just want you to know, protesting doesn't happen at the right time. It happens at the wrong time. That's the idea. That's how you get attention. You're supposed to do it at a time that it disrupts, so it brings attention to what you're doing. That's kind of the idea. That's why it's called a protest. Do you think people chain themselves to the front entrance of a nuclear power plant because they want to make it a quiet protest? That's not the right time. It's the wrong time, which makes it the perfect time. Ladies and gentlemen, that's when protests are done. They're done because you got to bring attention.
You know what we haven't said on the show?
The racist goes, well, why don't the players kneel in the locker room 4 hours before the game when nobody's there?
What is
no
that?
No cameras or anything. That'll show solidarity, and it won't bother anybody. Yeah, exactly, asswipe. That's the idea. Yes, that would be perfect in your racist eyes for them to do it quietly in some corner where nobody finds out about it.
Our country was bonded and got together and wrote the Declaration of Independence because of a revolt, the Boston Tea Party. Everybody forgets that. We took the tea and threw it in the harbor in Boston.
Not a good time.
We're not taking it.
Not a good time to do that.
That's
but it brought attention to this
what
day.
Our country is our start was that.
Right.
We're unified and we're together.
Triads, Yakuza. You guys are coming in with a bunch of them, huh? Don't we see Asian people all the time protesting? Triads and Yakuzas are fighting. They're killing each other. Oh, my Lord, we've got to stop this. I see Asian people all the time protesting that. So how come they're protesting black-on-black crime?
Sounds like some of our listeners watch reels. The baddest killers, this, blah, whatever.
It's the funniest thing, man. It's just too funny. The level of ignorance is just crazy. Bill, are you suggesting start a revolution? Well, the Beatles did years ago.
You know what? We're about.
All right, we're over, by the way. We're at 12:05. We got an hour in already.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We got a bunch of things to talk about still. If you want to get in, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Got some stuff. Got one athlete that got really active in part of these riots. We'll hear from that. Also, I've got a broadcaster that got in trouble. We got some news in the NFL I want to talk about. A classy move by an athlete that I really don't like, but I got to give him some love. I got some music news that I want to talk about. An NFL owner made a statement that I love the statement, but there needs to be a little more substance behind it, and I want to get into that statement too. What else do we have? Oh, music-wise, I got a couple of really cool music notes that I want to talk about. Kobe Price will join us in this hour at the bottom at 12:30. We'll talk about the latest developments in the MLS. Will we get an MLS season? Now I'm getting nervous. Back with more.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. A travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
All righty, welcome back. We take you till I have no idea. That's the beauty of doing this every day. We can do it as long as we want, as short as we want, all that, which is a beautiful thing. And if you all want to get in, it's really simple. All you got to do is dial it up at 786-322-1105. That's the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. And then on email, Orlando at Big O Radio Show. Prosecutor says he's charging 6 Atlanta police officers after 2 college students were pulled from their cars during the protest, according to the AP. So nice to see that Atlanta. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I want to see action against these officers. They need to see that their jobs are on the line, that they are risking everything, including jail, when they are doing these kind of acts. You got to start doing things on a response. You got to treat people like human beings. That's why Steve Poherence doesn't belong anywhere on that Fort Lauderdale force, because that girl was on her knees with her hands up in the air, and out of pure frustration and just hate, he grabs her head and just shoves it. And that right there showed me that that's a man that cannot keep his cool and was willing to take his anger out on someone that had nothing to do with any kind of his frustrations. She's not the one heaving rocks at him. She's not throwing smoke at him. She's not doing anything. She's protesting like a great American.
And he's about to walk out of the group and leave and be done.
And that's it.
And he's got to
all he had
finish
to do
off.
Is keep walking, and that clown, Steve Poherence, could not just walk away like a real man. He had to be a freaking coward and grab that girl by the neck and shove her down on the ground. That's what Poherence is. He's a freaking coward. That's what cowards do. Okay? They abuse their power.
Got to be positive. I think her name is Officer Wilson.
Yes.
The black lady officer that runs out
disgusting.
immediate.
Yeah, but you
no
see
wait right after him.
She rips into him, but then it gets to a point where she has to walk away. And she walks away because she's so disgusted.
Oh, she's about to, yeah.
And she can't do anything about it. Or she also walks away because she's afraid that it'll be caught on camera if she continues to express herself against her fellow officer. And then she's viewed by other officers as
also mob mentality.
negative.
Once there's violence, it could spill into the protesters, and then you have a real bad situation.
Well, that did light up.
It did.
It lit
that
up
was
the protesters
that was
right
the
there and
spark.
then.
Yep.
Okay. Game Over 954 goes, hey, why don't white people protest rich drug CEOs killing millions of Americans? I know. Why don't they do that? It's amazing, isn't it? Yakuza is a great video game. Never played it. Clarence Collins, Big O, talk to them. Protest in the locker room. And he puts a laughing face. Exactly. These cops are not too bright. They're on camera and phones everywhere. Yeah, but that's the beauty, man. These situations are exposing what they really are. And then that way you can weed them out. Very important. Very important. Too many meatheads who are cops, Troy Ortiz. Amen to that. Amen to that. Amen to that. Let me give it in Latin terms, especially Cubans will understand. El fuertecito que se cree muy guapo y quiere ser un policía. You know what I'm saying? Right? The guy that does a couple weights, shoots up a little bit psychotic, right? Likes to get into fights, Mr. Aggressive. Then all of a sudden you see he's signing up to be in the Army or he wants to be a cop. And you're like, come on, man. I mean, come on. You all know it. We all know it. We see it in all our neighborhoods. There's one or two of those guys that they become cops and you're like, oh, yeah, you're a cop? Oh, yeah, hey, congratulations, man. Oh, wow. Yeah. Right? You walk away, it's like, wow, that guy's a cop? Holy crap.
What's your beat? Let me know. I know not to go there.
Ese tipo está loco. You know, you've said it. Guaranteed. I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for Latin neighborhoods in South Florida. Okay, that's all I can say. Can't speak for the black neighborhoods. Can't speak for the Anglo neighborhoods. Can't do that. But I can speak for the Latin neighborhoods. Okay? And anybody that grew up in a Latin neighborhood, you grew up and one of your friends became a cop, and you were like, wow, damn, that guy's a cop? You said it. I think it's a rite of passage for most Hispanics at one point or another in their lives. They said, he became a cop? That's happened in every family. Guaranteed. I'm telling you. Can't speak for Anglos. Can't speak for the black community. I can only speak for Hispanics because I've seen enough of them. I've been in enough of those conversations, whether I said it or I saw another Hispanic say it, that I didn't know the guy, but I knew this guy, and he goes, damn, I can't believe that guy became a cop. So think about it. Think about the times that you've heard that throughout your life, and then now we see all these issues with cops all across the country. That means that it didn't just happen in the Hispanic communities.
No, don't feel alone there. Not at all.
I'm just saying, I can't speak for all you other folks out there, okay? But I'm going to go out on a limb and talk for the Hispanics. And I can guarantee you that in our conversations, every once in a while, there was that one dude that was like, that guy became a cop.
Well, even maybe not friends, but hanging out, this, that, friends of friends, we're big, good, and you find out that guy's a cop.
Yeah.
Are you, what? Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Oh, God help us.
Yep.
That scenario thrown in, everybody's come across.
So if it's happened to all of you out there, which I believe it's happened to all of you at one point or another in your lives, how do we sit back now and say, how come we have a problem with our cops? We can't say that because we've all know about one that polluted the system. You know what I mean? It's a lot like the Army, the Navy, whatever. You know that kid that got in trouble all the time and then he left to the Army. And you're like, well, okay. Because you know what? Remember what the old way of when you were growing up and if your dad felt you had no hope and he couldn't straighten you out, the Army was the last resort. That was like the second line of defense in fatherhood. Like if your father failed, the Army would then pick up the baton after that. And if the Army couldn't straighten out your ass, then you were done. You probably ended up in jail and you were, whatever.
Well, depending on the time in history, either go to jail or go in the Army.
Right.
Okay, there was also that option.
Right. And if you end up in jail, whatever race you are, your race will be protesting that, you were fighting with somebody else about whatever, being a gang member, a mobster, drug dealer.
I just have to say, this started with meathead comment and whatnot. By the way, Mike Stivic is very offended.
Just like with NFL owners and organizations, it starts at the top. Some more of these police departments, these bad cops need to be dealt with. Game over, 954. Ha. 2 guys from my high school football team became cops, not the smart, thoughtful, calm ones. Exactly. Ray Grulon says, truth, Big O. Same thoughts. Mira, eres un policía, Dios mío. I grew up in a blue-collar, white neighborhood, and I saw the same thing. That guy in law enforcement? Exactly. We all say it. Every one of us say it at one point or another. Troy Ortiz says, Big O, look up what Chris Rock says about bad cops being bad apples. Oh, we played it yesterday, dude. You weren't listening to the show? We're on top of it, man. Game over, 954. Even Jocko was saying how there's some Navy SEALs that game buds and everyone looks like, oh, no, now he's on the teams. Yeah, exactly. I had a room dog in the Army, and for him, it was Army or jail. Right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's the thinking nowadays, but if you're a 40, 50, 70, 80-year-old, 40 and on, if you're older than 40, that was the prevailing thought back in the day. If you didn't have a lot of hope left, you weren't going to find a professional career, you couldn't find a real job, go in the Army. Your dad couldn't figure you out, you kept getting in trouble, they'd sign you up in the Army. That's kind of the way we used to ship off, I don't know how many future criminals we shipped off to the Army. And we do this in policing, we do the same thing. Think about that. Now that I brought it up, you think about that, and now you wonder, okay, no wonder our police system is all screwed up. I remember guys that shouldn't be cops.
Well, you remember seeing the documentaries, the Cocaine Cowboy years in the 80s down here with all the murder. They were hiring whoever they could get.
Yeah. I'm disgusted in Cubans. They weren't complaining about Cocaine Cowboys. What happened with all you Cubans out there? Come on. We should have been protesting. Drug dealers killing drug dealers. We should be joining the black community worried about criminals killing criminals. We should join the Colombian community worried about drug dealers killing drug dealers. Yeah, no, you should be out there protesting that. Those are some doozies, I tell you. Where did you find that Chris Rock sound, though? YouTube. You know what I'll do? If you want, I'll post it on Twitter. Is that cool? I can do that. I can post it on my Twitter page. We can do that, and you guys can check it out there if you want. We can replay it. You got it there? Yeah, we replay. What the hell? There's some people that weren't listening yesterday. Here's Chris Rock on cops and bad apples, okay? So Bill's going to find the soundbite for us from yesterday. It's funny and extremely truthful, right? Because that's what comedians are. They tell you the truth. They try to make light of the truth so we can laugh a little bit about it. But deep down inside, there's a lot of honesty that's going on.
The thing that makes it funny is by the way, it applies.
That's that's what great comedy is all about. Let me tell you, great comedy is when you walk that fine line that you're, in a way, educating or enlightening, or at least addressing, and then at the same time you're entertaining.
You touch a nerve.
Yeah.
It strikes, because
there's truth. There's truth to it.
Right.
And so what you're going to hear from Chris Rock talking about bad cops and bad apples. It is so true. Go ahead.
I mean, here's the thing with the cops, though. I mean, being a cop's a hard job, man. It's a hard fucking job, man. I mean, honestly, I don't think they pay cops enough. I don't think they pay police enough. And you get what you pay for. But here's the thing. Innocent black man, they always say the same thing. It's like, well, it's not most cops. It's just a few bad apples. It's just a few bad apples. Bad apple. That's a lovely name for murderer. It's like, how'd they get that one? Bad apple. That almost sounds nice. I mean, I've had a bad apple. It was tart, but it didn't choke me out. Here's the thing. I know it's hard being a cop. I know it's hard. I know that shit's dangerous. I know it is, okay? But some jobs can't have bad apples, okay? Some jobs, everybody gotta be good. Like pilots. You know? American Airlines can't be like, you know, most of our pilots like to land. We just got a few bad apples that like to crash in the mountains. Please bear with us.
There you go. And he's 1,000% right. You know? And that's great comedy. Great comedy is when there's some truth there. And, you know, he's still making you laugh, but he's making you think. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's kind of the idea. It's like, hey, listen, just a couple minutes ago, we made you think. Right? Not a lot of, I don't think anybody brings this up, what I brought up. That if you think about your history in your life, there's always that person that became a cop, and you're like, that guy's a cop? And then, you know, years later now, we're watching all this brutality, everything going on, and then we wonder why the system's all screwed up. All you got to do is remember your history. At one point or another, you know somebody that screwed up the cop system because they became a cop. And you knew in your heart that that guy had no business being a cop. Never happened to me with a woman, but with a guy, a couple times. And I was like, damn, that guy's a cop? Yeah. Not good. Not no good, man. That guy's a cop? Oh, good.
You know what? Hearing Chris Rock, man, miss his show. It's the show he used to have on HBO. And if you remember, his DJ was Grandmaster Flash.
Oh, yes, definitely. No doubt. No doubt about that. We do want to remind you about EJD Construction. We love talking about Eric, a proud sponsor of our show, watches and listens all the time when he's in the vehicle. He's probably watching and listening right now. Follow them, by the way, at ejdconstruction.com and call Eric and tell him that I sent you 305-318-4978. In fact, one of our listeners just finished the job that they signed up for a couple months ago. They had an addition built to their house because their family expanded. And so you might be the same thing. You might want to improve that man cave. Listen, you won't be going to a lot of games this year, right? So I've been mentioning this, and we had a listener that wanted to improve their man cave because he's not going to games this year. So he wanted to make sure that his home experience was going to be better this year. So he called EJD Construction. I think he told me 5 TVs or 6, something like that. I don't know. He put like 5 or 6 TVs in his man cave. You want to do the same thing? Call EJD Construction, man. They'll have those TVs coming out of the floor and the roof and the walls or whatever. I mean, really, you want to improve the bar, the kitchen, you name it. You want to put a fountain in the front yard. I don't care what you want to do. Call EJD Construction, 305-318-4978. Make sure you tell Eric that Big O sent you, and they'll take care of you. I promise you on that. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. When we come back, I got to give some props to someone that I rarely give props to for being a decent human being, because he's probably not a decent human being, but he's doing something very decent. That's next.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
All right, we are ready to rock. We promised you we're going to talk to Kobe Price now. We're going to talk a little Inter Miami. We'll get to some other sports talk, too, here going on. But we're going to talk a little Inter Miami right now with my man Kobe Price from the South Florida Sun Sentinel. We are hoping that the MLS season kicks off, but there seems to be a couple of roadblocks in the way. You can follow my man Kobe Price on Twitter at Kobe_P and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Kobe, good afternoon, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Doing quite well. How you been doing?
I can't go COVID free, brother. You know what I mean? That's all I can do right now is stay COVID free, and we do that, we're all right. So the question is, are we going to be football ready or football free? What's the latest development now that we're hearing that, we could be even facing a lockout now? What's the latest?
Yeah, well, as of today, this is Tuesday afternoon. Looks like players are still not reporting to the voluntary training sessions that teams have been hosting at their training facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Because the MLSPA, they sent a counteroffer, an agreed to counteroffer by the players back to the owners, back to the league. I believe that was either sometime over the weekend, whether it's Friday, sometime through Sunday. They announced it on Sunday, and the owners, the league, came back and said that offer that they gave to them was the last offer, the one that they counteroffer with. They said that was the last one. They would not be budging anymore. So it was looking like there may have been a lockout, and they said as of noon, that's when the players had the decision or the time to make a decision. But they're saying that now they're pushing it back to noon tomorrow, noon Wednesday, in order for a decision to be made. And the MLS has, even though they were threatening a lockout, they have changed their side of the deal, changed their proposal, and there could be a resolution by as early as today. But it looks like the deadline got pushed back to tomorrow at noon, Wednesday at noon, June 3rd.
Kobe, what's the main hangups? What's going on here? Why are we close to not even having a season?
So, and I don't know how to pronounce this word the best, but the force majeure clause that will allow either side to back out of the CBA, which was agreed to but was not ratified back in February. That has been one of the major sticking points for the MLS. For the MLS, they're having a clause, I believe, that says that they can back out of the CBA in the case of a pandemic, but also when teams return to playing at their sites, if attendance, I think the number was below 25%, they could back out of that clause. And the MLSPA, they didn't have that clause in their proposal. And it's looking like, based off the last update I saw, which is probably all 10, 15 minutes ago, they were talking about that clause. And it looked like the MLS is going to lighten up on that clause specifically.
Okay, so are they – so wait a minute. Now, all right, what I'm confused at is having the clause or having the power of exercising that clause. What is the issue here?
I think the actual issue is the attendance clause within the force majeure clause.
Okay, I see.
The attendance. So if they're saying that 25%, I think instead of attendance a dip below 25%, I think that's the sticking point. The players are like, hey, that's something you guys can control at the same time as well.
Well, yeah. Well, wait a minute. A pandemic is controlling that. You can't. How can you blame anybody for attendance if the pandemic doesn't allow you to bring fans in? That's not fair.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it. They're saying even if you and this is only what I've been exposed to. I'm sure there's great details I haven't seen. So I'm speaking with the lightest authority possible, and that's the players' side of it, I believe. It's not fair to you to have this clause in there when, we may be facing a 30% decrease in attendance simply because of that. It may be attendance. It may be attendance based off the capacity we allow into the stadiums. That's something I'm also a bit confused about too, and I want to make sure that's clear. However, I think a major sticking point is tying all of this to attendance when, like you said, some people may not just show up because there has been a pandemic going on. And who's going to feel comfortable going to a sporting event? I know MLS is talking about going back to play in Orlando this summer, but who's going to be comfortable even late in the summer or fall or even winter?
Well, there wouldn't be any attendance with the tournament in Orlando because that would locally. I could tell you because I'm putting together a radio station for Inter, and we don't even know if we're going to have access to half of the local games that we have. They might be national broadcast. I mean, it's a really weird thing. So the only time attendance would take place is if after that tournament that everybody goes back to their cities, if that's allowed and if that happens, then that's when attendance might take place. But even then, we don't even know if people will be allowed to go to games. That's an unknown right now. That has not been answered.
Yeah, I mean, it's not looking like it's not looking like there's going to be fans in Orlando. So it's hard to. That's been a major sticking point, and I know there's multiple leagues have. I know the NBA at least has this clause. The details of the clause, I don't think it has this attendance clause, but I could be wrong by that. But that's going to be a major sticking point, and I think that's going to be something that they're going to have to change in order to get that figured out.
All right, so Kobe is the plan already in place on returning on the way they're doing it, or are they still trying to overcome the money stuff first before they settle in on whether it's a tournament, whether they're all going to be in Orlando permanently, whether they go back to their cities? What do you hear?
I'm hearing that, based off what I'm hearing when I'm reading, that the actual Orlando plan, that's taken care of.
Okay.
Like they figured out as much as you can at this point without actually having it firmly agreed to in paper and in officially. But they've gotten that pretty much taken care of, at least that side of the negotiation side of it. But they're still trying to figure out the everything else. They're trying to figure out the economic side before they can firmly agree to, yes, we're going to come back. Because, I mean, they both play hand in hand.
Right. Well, have you heard testing-wise, have they agreed to test every day? Because if they're going to do the temperature thing, forget it. If they're going to do what the NHL's doing, that they're going to test every day, even though it's expensive as hell, but they've got to do it the right way, what have you heard on that end?
This isn't confirmed, but what I've heard is they are going to be doing regular testing.
Okay. Every day?
That's what I've heard from Amon. I think it's supposed to be every day, yeah.
Okay. That would make a lot of sense. All right, so what's your gut tell you right now, Kobe? What do you feel? Is this more posturing and eventually they get something done, or do you actually think there could be looming because the CBA is close to expiring? Is that kind of what it is?
Well, so the CBA, they agreed to a CBA back in February, a new one.
Right.
So they came to an agreement on it, but they didn't ratify it. So that CBA it's not in place to be enacted moving forward. So I guess they're trying to amend it in a way.
I see.
And that's kind of like they're stuck because it's not officially signed. Like it's not officially official, if you want to say it like that.
Right. In other words, they don't have a new CBA really in place yet officially. In other words.
Correct.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Correct. So they're still trying to get that figured out.
Wow. That's a lot of problems, dude. That is a lot of problems. That is not good to hear, man. Let's see if they can get it resolved. All right. So what's next, Kobe? What? So if the players aren't reporting, we just have to now patiently wait till something happens here in the next 24 hours?
Yeah, I think we're going to hear something. I mean, right now it's a little before 1 o'clock Eastern time. I think we'll hear something in the next 24 hours. I know players didn't report today either. They didn't report yesterday. And we'll probably find something out because at this point, you're going up against time.
Right. Yeah. No,
you can't keep pushing this back further and further. At some point, we can talk about what we want to through all the proposals, but at some point, you got to make a decision. Right. So they're going to have to make a decision. It's probably going to come within these next 24 hours, if not sometime this week.
Follow Inter Miami writer Kobe Price. You can catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel website. You can get it at your doorstep. Follow him on Twitter at Kobe_P. Kobe, as always, my man, thank you for taking some time. Thank you for shedding some light and giving us some info on all of this. Hopefully we get some soccer.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
You got it, baby. Be good. There you go. Kobe Price, man. Good stuff there. And disturbing. I got to tell you, this is one that does not make me feel good because it's not a powerful league yet. You know what I mean? It's a growing league, and selfishly, obviously, I work for them. So I really want. I mean, I want the season to go either way. I've got my inner jerseys ready to go. I bought season tickets a while back, with a couple of friends. So I already have. This idiot probably will go in my seats.
Thank you.
I'm not even going to end up using them, unfortunately. I ended up getting tickets that when I got tickets, it's because I wasn't planning on working, because I've worked with all the soccer teams, but then this whole project came along, and this is really exciting to be able to build what we're going to build. And so I definitely had to go for it. So now I'll be at all the games, you know what I mean? So, but it's for different reasons now, I'll be working while watching and enjoying. But and I've seen firsthand what Moss and Beckham and company have done and how much they've accomplished in such a short time with that stadium, which was so amazing. I really want to see them, take the pitch, man. I'm looking forward to it because we finally got like a really good owner. Like we had one in Ricardo Silva, but unfortunately he could not do what he wanted to do to create, that super league he wanted to create here in this country. What are you going to do? Let's see. Mike No-Go Zone says, a stoppage for the MLS would ruin some much-needed momentum. Hell yeah. Big time. Richard McLean says, best fast food hamburger to me is Steak and Shake. Let's see. George says, oh, okay. I guess you're talking to this other guy. Hanging in, my man, just getting my ducks in order here in Jersey, crossing my T's and dotting my I's, my brother. Okay. George Albanese chiming in. What else do we have here? I guess somebody's not a fan of soccer. Tall Kinchit says, I don't miss soccer. My neighbor has a dog that barks all day and night. Okay, I don't know what that means, that you don't miss soccer and your dog barks all day and all night. Okay. Well, what can I tell you? I guess you're going to have to move. I guess. I don't know.
I'm surprised you're letting the fast food hamburger, because we have very strong opinions. There are certain places that if we're anywhere within the vicinity of, we're there.
Yeah, they do a good, but Steak and Shake does a really good job. Although
Yes.
I'm actually a bigger fan of their chicken sandwich than their steak. Actually, I love their grilled chicken sandwich. I think it's an underrated chicken sandwich for Steak and Shake.
What's your 1, 2, 3?
Burgers?
Yeah.
What, fast food?
Yes.
Oh, In-N-Out's number 1.
Thank you.
By miles.
And then 2?
Fast food. Okay?
I'm thinking you're going to pick one of these 2.
So fast food means it has to have a drive-through. Correct?
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
All right?
Right.
Because like
Red Robin,
Fuddruckers
and
Red
Fuddruckers,
Robin
right, yes.
and
They don't apply.
BurgerFi
Nope.
and all those other places.
No. This is what it is.
So 1, I'm going to go In-N-Out. 2,
I'm thinking you're picking one of these 2.
I'm going Whataburger.
You're going to go
Not even close.
at the top of the
Not even close.
Phoenix. It's the pinnacle.
Not even close. Not even hurt. Ouch. So if you want to bring attention, okay, Kaepernick as a hero, choose B Flow, UD, and 3 Wade. Yes. But Drubo, it was during the anthem. It was not during the game. Those are the people that drive me crazy. Oh, I don't want kneeling during my game. There was no kneeling during the game. And they weren't taking a shot at the anthem, Drubo. It wasn't a shot at the military. It wasn't a shot at the flag. It was what we have just witnessed.
Speaking, wasn't
in
one
the
of the
last couple of weeks, which made a lot of sense.
Wasn't one of the guys?
I hope people are more understanding of it. You know what I mean?
The original group that knelt with Kaepernick wasn't one of their father's military guy. The group in San Francisco, the couple of players that knelt with them, I want to say one of them had come from a military family.
I'm not sure. I'm sure lots of people did. But sure.
I want to say that. Yeah, that was the scenario.
You might be right.
It's all about, hey man, it ain't against the military. It ain't against the flag. It's to bring attention to a bad situation.
Right. Let's see. Tallkin Chit says, kneel on your own time. You are dressed for work. And they can protest in their work, bro. Tallkin, you can't protest? That's your sorry-ass problem. They can. And it's their time, buddy. It's their sport. It's their career. You're just a fan. You don't. It's their right. It's what we were talking about. But Tallkin, you don't have that power. Kneel in your job? I question more you guys than I question them. Because what they're doing means really it doesn't get in the way of anything whatsoever. It's a peaceful protest. And if you don't respect that, then you're just as bad as the cops that get out of control. The difference is you just don't have the power of the baton. I'm afraid if you did. 786-322-1105. Josh says, fix the audio. Your mic. I can't do anything. That's just the internet, man.
Yeah.
It's just an internet thing.
Being a pain in the butt today, bro.
Yeah. So can't do anything about that. Today, I guess, remember, there's just more people home, and so more people are using the internet, and not that I have 400. I know I'm Hispanic, and normally by law, we're supposed to have 406 people in the house. We only have 399, so it's not as many people using the internet in this house. But it's the neighborhood.
I'm going to blame it on the dogs. The dogs and all their tablets and everything, bro.
Yeah. I don't know if you're censoring your words, Yeah, that's probably what it is. The police joining the protest was great to see because hating all cops is not the answer. Amen to that. Amen to that. Amen to that. Definitely. But what we have to do, unfortunately, we now have to put pressure on the good cops. We have to put pressure on the chiefs. We have to put pressure on the people that are around these bad cops. And they need to expose those bad cops. And we need to reward the people that get rid of good cops. I mean, bad cops. Okay? Those good cops, they don't need to be picked on. They need to be rewarded. They need to be held to, a higher standard and say, hey, this, or set as an example. This is how you do things. It's what Chris Rock said. There are certain things that can't have bad apples. You can't have a bad pilot and you can't have a bad cop. People die. It's just unacceptable. Oh, it's a couple bad apples. No, man, there can't be one bad apple. If there's one, it's way too many. The problem is there are tons all across this country because every precinct has them. Like I said before, just think about your history and you'll know one of your friends contributed to being a bad cop. Okay? Or an acquaintance or somebody you kind of knew.
You know what they need to do, man, is every police department right now, this is priority one, weeding out the bad cops. That would be a first step in the right direction, man.
Okay. Well,
right?
Yeah.
Priority one, get rid of all the bad ones right now.
Well, it won't be that easy,
Of
but
course.
you got to start.
But you got to start. Yeah, exactly.
Got to start.
Yep.
Got to start somewhere. NorCal says, I haven't heard any problems with the audio today. Oh, well, maybe it's some of you out there. Maybe your internet got a little funky too. It could be. It may not be my internet. It might be your internet that might be a little funky too.
I'm seeing you lock up a couple times over here.
There you go.
Yeah, on the feed.
I haven't noticed it myself on mine, but, whatever. They say it's bandwidth, not the mic. I believe it's Bill with the damn pizza. I agree, Drubo.
Why do we have to mention pizza? Now I want a Steve's.
Yes. You got to get that gigabit internet. Oh, I got the fast-ass internet, bro. Because that's the only way the serious people allow you to connect. You got to have that high-speed internet. So I have it. Sometimes it's not like specifically me. You know what I mean? It might be the area. There might be some heavy usage. There might be something. It might be in your part too. You never know. We need to be united and not live in fear. Amen, man. Let's see. Let me see. What do we have here? Man, anyone else getting a Pellegrino vibe from Tall Ken? Let's see. I'll be honest. I support and respect justified protests 100%. I just hate it during sport events because I look at it as 3 hours escape from all the issues going on in the world. Yeah, George, but they're not going on during the 3 hours. It's just going on in pregame. It's just during the national anthem. It's not a big deal. All you got to do is turn on the game at kickoff. That's it. If you don't want to even, if it bothers you that much just to see it, then just wait for the kickoff. After the kickoff, it's not like let's stop the game for a kneeling. No, it doesn't go on. It's just during the national anthem. Big deal. Hey, they were getting to a point where some weren't even showing the national anthem just so they didn't show the kneeling. And they moved on. It's not a big deal, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. What else do we have here? Pat Nashville, wait till the NFL season starts. I predict lots of players will be kneeling now. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it'll be a lot of white players kneeling this time. You're going to see that now. It's not going to be just the black players now. It'll be the white players kneeling now. Okay? You're going to see a lot of solidarity now on this because finally some will get over that it has nothing to do with the military and the flag. You'll still have those people that will create whatever narrative they want, even though it has nothing to do with it, but they'll do it anyway. Oh, have you talked about John Jones yet? I know he's a knucklehead, but he's doing good in Albuquerque. No, I have not, and we will do that to start off hour number 3. Talk about John Jones. Talk about two guys that are knuckleheads and are doing some good things. Two knuckleheads we got to give credit to, besides John Jones. There's another knucklehead, okay, that I got to give a little love to that knucklehead, okay? Oh, well, I got to give you guys a little heads up here. Now, if you get in trouble doing this, don't blame me, okay? It's not my fault. I'm just passing on the information, all right? Don't blame me. I'm just doing things because I'm a facilitator of fun. But if you get in trouble, it's on you now. Okay? Krispy Kreme is giving away free donuts all week.
Gotta go. I'll be back.
For the first time ever, the popular donut chain is switching up National Donut Day. The food chain is extending the offer for the entire week. That's right. This year they're celebrating 5, not 1 day, 5 days. That's right. From June 1st through the 5th, visit hashtag National Donut Week and get any donut for free. That's right. So U.S. and Canada shops only. So for our friends that are watching in Canada, even Krispy Kreme, that's right. This is your opportunity to cheat on Tim Horton and go to Krispy Kreme. They're in Canada. How about that? Any donut. It excludes delivery, by the way.
Just one.
Those hot donuts. When that thing is flashing, hot donuts, hot donuts, hot donuts. I swear to you, I feel like a crackhead going to the Carter in New Jack City.
That was on the other night, by the way.
Yeah? I'm telling you. I am totally headed to the Carter. Because, I mean, Krispy Kreme and Carter is kind of the same thing.
There's only one problem. It's only one, man.
I know.
They know.
They know because
They know that opens up the floodgates.
Right. You'll buy 3 and get 1 free.
I want you to know that there was a period.
Depending on what you can do. Maybe you eat 7 and you'll get the 8th one free.
I can't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday, and it was buy 1, get 1 free.
Right.
And literally, would take orders from family members and friends in the neighborhood, and would end up, I kid you not, the most was 8 boxes, 8 dozen.
How can you eat 1 glazed donut, especially a hot glazed donut from Krispy Kreme? How can you just eat 1? If you can only eat 1, you're disciplined. It's hard, especially the hot glaze. The hot glaze are so good.
So move over, Lays. Can't eat just 1.
Yeah.
That applies to Krispy Kreme more.
Yeah. There was an app that they I forgot the name of it. Dolly, Holly, Lolly, Molly. I don't know, some app there, and these kind of foodie places all across the country, and they deliver. I went looking to see if Randy's was in it because there's a whole bunch of donut places, and I go, man, if they'll deliver overnights, I'll order Randy's and I'll get it delivered. And you got to pay like $50 or something for it, but you get a few Randy's donuts. It would have been great, but no, Randy's was not on it.
My first trip out there, everything. One of our last of the 4 visits in the course of 8 days to Randy's Donuts, I did inquire with them. And they said that, yes, they have a couple people that order regularly. And with the whole charge and everything like that, it was like between $50 to $70.
Yeah, I'm sure of course.
For a dozen donuts.
Yeah.
Now, if you got it like that, man, more power to you. But I know that if I did, every once in a while, I definitely would have to treat myself to a Randy.
Oh, yeah. You definitely have to do that. All right, let's do this. We got 2 hours down. Hour number 3 is coming up. We're going to talk a little John Jones. We'll give John a little love. He was doing something really, really cool. I got to give another idiot a little love also for doing something really, really, really cool. And you know what? Let's give Big J doing big things. Big J doing big things. Thank you for chiming in on the super chat. We thank you, my brother. Appreciate you supporting us in a big time way. Gives us the sticker with the fist pump. Love that. So Big J, thank you, sir, for always keeping it locked and watching us. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We will start off hour number 3. Got a bunch of things to talk about sports-wise. And got a couple of music things, too, I want to mention. Back with more right here on The Big O Show.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Hour number 3, we're starting it off in some kick-ass fashion. First of all, Alexa V, thank you, sweetheart. All right, Alexa, thank you, thank you.
I know that, dude.
Yes.
Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
Thank you, Alexa, as always. Tommy Italian, 305 for live, chiming in also on a super chat. I love it. So Alexa gives us the smiling faces with the hard eyes and the mouth out wide open. Tommy Italian gives us the super sticker flying through the air. Love you, Tommy Italian. 305 for life. Drubo again on a super chat. Thank you, Drubo. He puts hashtag Fins Rising. Hi, Alexa's Twitter chat board. There you go. And then 1,005 holds. E chimes in. You guys on a roll with a whole bunch of super chat.
Excuse me a sec. What are you babbling about?
Super chat.
If he
Super chat.
will all,
Super chat.
it'll be anarchy. It's out of my hands.
There we go. A lot of super chatting going on. Thank you all out there. Very, very nice. Very nice of you all. Richard, by the way, says, whatever happened to the Dolphins decide to do pregame and protest will be okay with me because Dolphins regime gets it. Whatever it is, go Dolphins 2020 eventual Super Bowl champions. I love it. Mike No-Go Zone says, donuts and an Irish coffee chaser. Good times. Drubo says, so my sister gave me Blue Label for my B-Day 2 weeks ago. I would imagine you're talking about Johnny Walker Blue Label, right? Is that what it is?
Oh.
Yeah?
Oh, man.
Okay.
You know what? That's Christmas. That's Noche Buena at Jesus' house.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Probably. Super Boom Shack says, Super Chat has left the room. Super Chat has been very active today, and we thank you all out there for super chatting and supporting us. However it is you support us, which is absolutely amazing. You know what's also amazing is watching John Bones Jones is a guy that does a lot of the wrong things. And he's really, really talented. We all know that. He lives in Albuquerque. You know, recently he had the DUI where he was shooting a gun and all. I mean, it's hard for me to defend John Bones Jones in anything, to be honest with you. I mean, he's just a first-class knucklehead. As great of a fighter as he is, and we know he is, and we undisputed, the best of the best, all of that, the guy's a king-size knucklehead. But we all know that we admire people that are protesting. A lot of us believe in what they're fighting for. Unfortunately, there's a group of individuals that are undesirables, and they're making the protesters look bad. And even some people are short-sighted enough to lump them all in the same group, and they're not. Okay? And this has been happening with protests forever, 100 years. There are always a group of individuals that want to take advantage of a protest and do things for all the wrong reasons. Well, John Bones Jones Jr. ends up seeing some kids with spray cans, right? And so here's Bones Jones. Listen to him talk about going after, listen to the exchange of him going after the kids with the spray cans.
No one expects again.
Nope, that's not it.
Give me the spray can. Hey, like, spray can. I ain't doing
it's not the way, man.
Spray can. I ain't doing nothing. Give me the spray can. Here, bro.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to tell John Bones Jones no? Are you going to tell him screw you? No, right? See, because the difference is if Russell Wilson walks up to you and says, give me the spray can, you could actually look at Russell Wilson and say, F you, buddy. And Russell Wilson's not going to knock you out. Okay. You obviously Tom Brady, you know, he's not gonna hit you either. Now, John Bones Jones Jr., you're not gonna get in an argument with the guy because you know he's legitimate crazy. Sorry, John, if somebody shows you this video, but you are crazy, bro. And out of pure fear that you know he's crazy, here, John, here's the can. That's all.
Bro, he's doing this in the middle of traffic. You hear all the horns blowing.
It's great.
And he literally walked out in the middle of traffic. Like,
yeah, he got out of his car.
What are you doing?
Yep.
Get over here. Give me those cans. And then he went to another guy and did the same thing.
Yep. Now, John Bones Jones did not end there. Okay? So a lot of people are talking about the spray can, all that. This man got a couple of guys, and to his credit, now he made himself a great American on this day. Check it out.
All right, it's time to put in some work. Got a nice little crew of guys, volunteers. You guys ready to do some work?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Let's see if we can find something to clean up. You guys need help with your small businesses? We're here. Hit us up. We'll be here all day. Time to work.
We got Nate helping out.
Yeah, I'll have all the best. Yeah, I'll have all the best.
We're gonna go ahead and take this glass down.
I don't know.
So he is legitimate and helping them and assisting them in their cleanup. That's pretty freaking cool, man. Okay? I mean, it doesn't absolve you of being a complete moron for many years and doing a lot of really stupid things. But I got to say, John Bones Jones, man, on this day, you, sir, are a great American. Okay? Because you're doing more than most of us. Right? And not a lot of... We can't go take paint cans away because we're going to end up in fights. Right? You and I go tell a kid, hey, give me the paint. You know we're going to have to fight with the kid because he's not going to want to give us a paint can. He doesn't know who the hell we are. If John Bones Jones walks up to you and says, give me the paint can, here you go, John. You know, that's all you can do. You're not going to test that guy. We will get tested. So we can't do that. And last time I checked, we're probably not walking into small businesses right now and helping them clean up after their mess that, you know, some looter left, which would be terrible.
I was just thinking of Jones walking up and could kick your butt. I didn't even factor in that he's a little crazy. Dude, when you put those two together, it's like, here, and you give him more, you go find paint cans for him, right?
Yeah. Did you watch that scene? And you know who retweeted it? My man Omar Kelly. Oh, Omar, if you're listening or if you watch or somebody, you can pass it on to Omar this part. Omar, you retweeted the wrong video. You were 1,000% right, but you tweeted the wrong video. So Omar yesterday, he tweets out a video. You guys got to go to his Twitter feed and you'll see it. It's a Twitter feed. Let me hear. Okay, my car is all of a sudden revving up the engines and want to move. So it's a Twitter feed, right, that cops get to this shoe store, and there's a couple white kids coming out, right? And Omar puts in the caption, if these were black kids, do you think the cops would just let them run by and with the product and just leave? And of course they wouldn't. We all know that. The only problem was the video he captioned and retweeted, that specific video, not one white person left with shoes. And the first part of that video, you got to watch it. It's hilarious. There's a white kid that runs out of the store with like 5 boxes of shoes. Okay? But he sees a cop. The second he sees a cop, he goes, ah! ah! And all the shoes go flying in the air, and he darts to the left, and he leaves without any of the shoes. And then there's another girl that comes out with one pair, and the cop knocks it out of her hands, and that's the end of the video. So in the one specific video, I thought it was hilarious. You got to go to Omar's feed, right? Because he's 1,000% right in his statement, right? If it was black kids, they probably would have tackled the black kids and arrested them. You know what I'm saying? The white kids, but the white kid was so crapping in his pants that he just saw the cop and the 5 pairs, he just let them out in the air. It was hilarious. It was like, oh my God, I got caught. And he's just darting away and running away with no shoes. And then the one white girl walks out with a pair, and the cop just like knocks it out of her hand, like, get your sorry ass out of here. It was great. It was so funny, man. I was going to tweet back to Omar. I was going to say, Omar, there's hundreds of videos out there, bro, that are better examples. This was not one of them because none of the white people got away with shoes. Oh,
it sounds like a lot of these hits, man, are big time coordinated.
Oh yeah, no,
big time.
Yeah.
Like they've got this thing down to a science.
Yeah,
it's almost. I'm almost at the point where if you're going to protest your group and put it out there on social media, you need to have some security within your group. Kind of like what happened at the CVS across the street from the American Airlines the other night.
Sure.
That, because you know what, man? Everything that's being done right with that one loot, with that one fire, with that one car, you know what I mean? It kills everything, hours of positive.
I see, to me, I can compartmentalize, and I know the looters have nothing to do.
Yeah, but
with
unfortunately,
the
we
cause.
don't control the media, man. And you know
that's fine,
they focus on that fire.
That's fine, and it's just like the people that wanted to complain about players kneeling. And and I kept having arguments every day. It had nothing to do with the military. It had nothing to do with the flag. You know what I mean? So people are going to believe whatever the hell they want to believe. That's why I tell people all the time, you know, like, I don't lean to either side. I don't watch one newscast. I don't do any of that stuff. I think for myself, and I watch everything, and I decipher everything that's going on. And so I don't get caught up in well, they're kneeling, they're disrespecting the military. It had nothing to do with the military.
Yeah, but you and like maybe a handful of other people are like that. Unfortunately, everybody watches the news and they come to the trough, and then that's what they spew post, what they see. And, man, it's really bad because there's a lot of good things going on, and everything is all about the bad, man. You know?
But that's what sells. That's always what it is.
You know.
That's what gets you page hits. That's what gets people selling is the bad stuff. Drubo says, bro, come on, 305, you know he's my fave. Who's that? I don't know what we're talking about here. Drubo says she's on our big O Twitter chat. Who are we talking about here? I don't know. You guys sometimes get into these conversations with each other, and then I don't know if you're asking me something or if you're complaining to me or criticizing me or what, or I don't know. Who would win in a fight, John Bones Jones or The Undertaker? I would pick The Undertaker. I would pick John Bones Jones because I know that he fights for real. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I was thinking. This is not fake.
I don't know what a wrestler would fight like when he really gets hit. I don't know because they're not really getting hit. You know, it's incredible choreography and they're obviously great talents, and they put their bodies through a ringer, throwing their bodies all over the place. So they do take their own beating, but they're not taking a beating. You know what I mean? And so I don't know how you're going to react. See, we didn't know how Ronda Rousey was going to react until she got punched in the face. And then finally, when she got punched in the face, She completely quit. She disappeared, came back, lost again, and disappeared again, and went to fake fighting. You see what I mean? It's the Mike Tyson line. Everybody has a plan until they get hit in the face. So that's my problem with all wrestlers. I know they're big and strong. I know most of them will kick my ass. I get all of that. I understand all of that. Okay, so, because there's always that butthurt wrestling fan that will send me the text and say, well, I bet he'll kick your ass. That's not much of an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't know how these people will react when they're in a real octagon or a real boxing ring, right? Conor McGregor stepped into a real boxing ring and looked completely uncomfortable because he didn't know how to box, and he's a real fighter. So I have no idea what a wrestler's actually going. You know what it's like? It's like the football player without pads. And he's running around sideline to sideline and running upright onto guys and hitting them, and he's getting there in time. And then all of a sudden they put pads on. And the guy's getting trampled, and he's lost, and he can't get there anymore, and he's not nearly as physical. You know what I'm saying? Receiver running over the middle, catching everything, this and that. You're all in shorts. What was the name of that kid? Brandon. It was Jimmy's time. Brandon something. He had a great mini camp. And then they put on the pads and he completely disappeared. Caught everything in sight when no pads were on. Then pads came on and the guy completely disappeared. So that's my problem with wrestlers. I don't know really how tough they are because they've never fought. So when I see them fighting, then I know what they will be. So I'm going to take John Bones Jones because I know John Bones Jones. He might be crazy. He might have done cocaine the night before. He might have drank 3 bottles. I have no idea. But when he steps into that octagon, he's a ravaged dog. And you're not beating him. John Bones Jones has that Rodman in him. He can go party all night in Vegas and then go out and kick your ass after that. It's just, I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, Rodman can go do a whole bunch of cocaine and alcohol and then go grab 25 rebounds and get the best player on the other team and defend him and make him shoot 32% from the field. And John Bones Jones can bang 4 chicks, do 800 lines of coke, 3 bottles of whiskey, and then kick your ass the next day. I have no idea if wrestlers can actually kick your ass. I know they can choreograph your ass into into submission, but I'm not sure if they can actually physically kick your ass. I got to see that to believe it. Let's see. Right on, Big O. The media knows exactly how to play us all. Of course, because they know what page views. They know what gets hits. Because, George, the viewer only watches destruction. The viewer doesn't want to see the puppy getting saved. The viewer doesn't want to see the guy crossing the old lady, getting the old lady and crossing, helping her across the street. The viewer doesn't want to see the firefighter saving somebody. No, they want to see the firefighter falling from the roof with the person he was attempting to save. We want to see George die over and over and over again. So the media plays you because that's what you want. So really, they're only catering to what you want. You know what I mean? Just when you're cruising around for your movies and Netflix, Do you go for the action movie? Do you go for the drama, the thriller, the killer, or do you go for the love story? Right? You're going to go for all the first ones that I mentioned. The latter is, brother, that's when your wife or your girlfriend ties you down to it. Oh, come on, it's such a sweet story. Watch it with me, sweetheart. And then you watch it. But if not, you want to watch the action-packed movie, the drama, the thriller. Because you want to watch the train wreck. So they play. George, you're right to a certain extent. They're playing you, but they're playing to you, actually. Because it's what you want to watch. You want to watch the mudslide that takes the family and their car across the bridge and over into the embankment. That's what you want to watch. You have no interest in the Special Olympics story and the child that had to fight his way to be able to walk and then run that half mile. You want no part of that story. But you certainly want to watch the hurricane destroy the Bahamas. You'll watch that one over and over again. You'll watch the people get beat up outside of their store from rioters and looters. Now, the cop that comes out and kneels down next to the protesters, you glance at it and you move on. Let me go to the next one. They're playing to what you want. And what you guys want are train wrecks. That's why the Kardashians survive on television. That's why the Jersey Shore idiots are there. You know? That's why 16 and Pregnant is on. Because we love train wrecks. That's what we do in this world. You know? That's why the news is all full of that crap. Alexa V says, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. George says, 100% Big O. Negativity and chaos sells. Amen. Amen, man. Sex, all of that sells, baby. Big O, not everyone prefers action movies over others. I'm not an action movie fan. Bromar Smelly, you, sir, are the minority. And you're a monster minority on top of all of that. Okay? Monster minority. That's how special it is. That's how special you are. All right, so John Bones Jones gets a lot of credit for what he did, right? I want to give Floyd Mayweather some credit too. Did you hear about Floyd Mayweather?
No, I did not.
John Bones Jones, lots of dumbass things, right?
I was going to say it was about a month ago at Craig's Inn on a Friday, all that stuff with the rest
Right.
and the gun, yeah.
Floyd Mayweather. A lot of moronic stuff he's done too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big-time gambler, too.
All right, so, but that's fine. Gambling's
fine. Yeah, if you got the money to do, babe,
God
more
bless
power
him.
to you.
I'm more worried about him hitting his kids and women and all kinds of other stupid
Yeah.
things he's done.
Yeah.
Okay? Just like John Bones Jones. But we got to give John Bones Jones a lot of love, man. He had a great American moment there. Let's give Floyd Mayweather also a lot of credit. Why? Mayweather has given $88,500. He is sending it to the Fort Bend Memorial Funeral Home to cover the cost of George Floyd's funeral services. How about that? Which, by the way, $88,500? Man. Cremate me, sweetheart. We can't afford it. Anyway, Floyd Mayweather has, and by the way, when you cremate me, sweetheart, just do it in the backyard, bro. $88,000? I can't afford $8,000. Floyd Mayweather has offered to pay for George Floyd's funeral services. TMZ, by the way, is reporting this. Mayweather's offering to finance all 4 services for Floyd in Houston, Minnesota, Charlotte, and another location later to be named. We're told Mayweather felt it was the right thing to do after learning Ansel Jennings, CEO of the TMT music label, grew up with George. Mayweather's people added Floyd is just doing what he feels is right in his heart. It's unclear if George's family has accepted it, which they have, by the way, that I know that they have also. They've accepted it. Hey, man, you know, I can pick on Floyd Mayweather for doing a lot of really stupid things, but let's give people credit when they deserve it. And that's a classy thing to do for Floyd Mayweather, for George Floyd's family by Floyd Mayweather, man. That's pretty classy. And I can understand the 88,000, by the way, because it's 4 different locations. So I can see that. 20,000 I can't afford. So if it's 20-something thousand for each, I'm still, sweetheart, just burn me in the backyard. What the hell? It's all right. I understand. They can get rid of me however they want to throw me in the trash and save some money. I'm good with that too. Okay? Just wrap me up in a hefty bag. Make sure when I croak, you put me in a fetal position right away, so I can fit in the hefty bag a lot easier. Okay? That's all I'm saying. But nice job by Floyd Mayweather to pay for the services. I think that's a really cool thing by Floyd Mayweather. Now, did you see about J.R. Smith? Okay, before I go to the break. J.R. Smith beat the crap out of a vandal, right, the other day. Guy broke his truck window, and he beat the crap out of him. I say J.R. Smith. Another guy that I've not agreed with a lot of things he's done in his past, too. J.R. Smith's been such a knucklehead that Rihanna called him out. Okay? When Rihanna's calling you out, you know you're a knucklehead. Plus, if you're J.R. Smith, the fact that Rihanna called you out, that means you lost out on all hope of getting laid with Rihanna. Because if you're J.R. Smith, you might have a shot at Rihanna. Now Rihanna calling you out, you can forget about it. You know what I'm saying? You and I don't have a shot. I mean, I'm married, so forget about it. But, I mean, normally we don't have a shot. If you're J.R. Smith, maybe you can shoot your shot. You never know. Now you have no shot. That was probably the most depressing part if I'm J.R. Smith. Thinking, wow, Rihanna called me out. I no longer have a shot with Riri. But anyway, he is now disappointed in himself for opening up a can of whoop ass on the vandal. That's depressing. He posted the video. Now he told Pat McAfee on his show, he says, granted, if he would have seen me and seen somebody outside of the car, outside of the house or whatever, don't think he would have broken it. Absolutely not. It was just a random act of stupidness. And I give him that. But that ass whooping was a random act of stupidness on my behalf, JR says. This man was down there at 8:46 for no reason, literally taking the life from him, calling for his dead mother. And then we go out here and we try to represent his name in a good way. And between tarnishing people's shops like so many have nothing to do with the situation. We should be able to lock arms, stand in front of somebody's store and say, no to this. This is not right. Being able to do stuff like that isn't right. So for the moment that I unloaded on the alleged vandal, Smith says he now regrets it. When it happened, I seen red. Then when I finally snapped to, I'm still disappointed with myself. For me, I'm 34 years old. I have 4 little girls at home. I don't want that image. Regardless of the fact whether it was right or wrong, I don't want them to have that image of their dad being capable of doing that or doing something like that. Smith did have a sense of humor about kicking form, though, saying, I was trying to go Bones Jones or Anderson Silva. But you know what? With J.R. Smith, I understand where he's coming from and where his regrets come from. Because he does have 4 girls. And then all of a sudden they see their dad going crazy on some dude. And although, again, I can compartmentalize. I'm that person. I can separate the two. I can understand that he is worried about how he looks in his little girl's eyes. But still, on the flip side, man, you're defending your property, bro. I have no problem with that. You know what I mean? I understand that he's concerned a little bit about how he looks in his in his girl's eyes because he doesn't want them to view their dad like crazy or something. But I view it as a moment where you're defending your property, man. Simple. Nothing more than that. And that was a person that needed an ass kicking. Okay? Because that vandal, a fine or some little jail time or something, he probably would have used that as a social media moment to boost himself. Whereas here, oh, you're the dude that got your ass kicked by J.R. Smith. And now maybe he'll think about never doing it again now. Because the thought of what if the owner sees me? Okay? And maybe the next time it's not an ass kicking. Maybe the next time it's a bullet in your head. So I got no problem with what J.R. Smith did. I understand his personal regrets. I understand his personal concerns because of his daughters. I do understand that. But I will never hold this against him. Ever.
We've all probably been there where you react, you don't think, and it's for the right cause or this, but you go too far.
Right.
Whatever, and it shows him growing up that he has an issue. He has an issue that, you know what, in hindsight,
right,
I reacted overboard. Probably could have handled it differently.
No, you didn't,
you know?
JR.
But
no,
no, you didn't.
No, you didn't, bro. You're good, man. You're good. Okay? You are good. For that moment, you did the right thing. But I do understand his concerns.
He's growing, like from what we thought,
Yes.
what you would perceive as J.R. Smith, factoring in his daughter. He wants to be a good person.
I gotta give him credit that at
man.
least he realizes that. He's a better person than I am for that because I would have thought of, I'm just going to kick your ass because you broke my damn window in my car, bro. That's it. You know? And whether it's, insured or not, I don't care. George Albanese chiming in on the Super Chat. George, if it would take me hours and hours and hours to find it, but I have that soundbite somewhere. George puts in his thing, and it's interesting because his donation was $2.19, which is like really odd that somebody would put like 19 cents. But he put JJ as in Jimmy Johnson, quote, "Who needs Moss? We got number 19, Larry Shannon." And that's when JJ was trying to justify the Larry Shannon pick because he passed up on Moss and took Jonathan Avery in the first round. Remember, and he still said he was going to take Vonnie Holiday with that pick. Even if Moss was there, he was going to take Vonnie Holiday, which would have been a good pick, by the way. We ended up with Vonnie Holiday years later as a free agent. But yeah, that's a good one. I have cassettes of my radio shows in the mid-90s, mid to late 90s. And I know I have like that soundbite we're going to be special and justifying the Larry Shannon and all. I have those cassettes, man. And I have a cassette player up there. So just in case that I wanted to transfer some of my cassettes to digital. But, I mean, it's hundreds of cassettes that I have. Because I would record every show I ever did back in the 90s on cassette. From Radio A to Homegrown Sports to working for QAM in the early days. I mean, all the radio stuff that I did in the early days, I have all that stuff on tape.
The room that all these cassettes are in, how much space does all these cassettes take up?
It's in the double garage downstairs and all in those cabinets.
So it's got its own
they're in cabinets
section.
They're in cabinets.
Yeah, right.
They're in cabinets.
So it's got its own area. Like this is the cassette section of the garage.
Yeah, it's got, in the garage downstairs. It's a man cave. There's some guy, when we moved in, he built cabinets there. And those cabinets, I just stashed all those cassettes in there. And they're in there, man. A lot of cassettes. And in those cassettes are some great sound bites that I could go back to get. But I would have to sit here for hours and listen to all that stuff and try to find it. But I could find that JJ soundbite. You know, I should. Maybe one day. The day I do it, the tapes will be no good anymore. They would have already deteriorated to hell. And then I'll regret everything. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what's going to end up happening. All right, let's take a quick break because I'm way late here. So we can come back for the final stretch of the show. The final, I would say, about half hour. I don't know, maybe more. I don't know. I got a couple other things that I want to talk about. We got a couple of football notes I want to get to, specifically a couple of depressing notes for certain football fans. I've got a really good music note I want to get into also. I got a bunch of things I want to get into. We still got to go. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. If you want to get in, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. Moody S Dental. I got my Invisaligns. Call them right now, man. 305-821-0231. Eric Moody S. They know how to get it done. He and his father. It's a family-owned business. Eric has been a proud sponsor of our show and a long-time listener. And right now, if you're in pain, you need to fill that cavity. You've got a root canal. Maybe you want an implant or Invisaligns. You want to straighten out those teeth. Call them. 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Folks, they use the latest CEREC technology. They offer same-day dentistry. They can take care of a lot of your needs. Again, tell them that Big O sent you. Trust me, they will take care of you. If you need an emergency, great place to call. 305-821-0231 or go to the website, moodySdental.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
We back. Pat in Asheville says, got to return some videotapes later, people. Oh, I love it. All right. Please be kind and rewind, Pat. Don't forget, okay? Be kind and rewind. That's always the key right there. I remember, Jimmy, back then when we have a chance to be special. LOL. Yes. A chance to be special. Drewbo says we will see Malcolm Perry in more than one kind of play. Very excited. I hope so. Can't wait, man. Can't wait for football. I'm with you there. Oh, can't wait for football. That's going to be absolutely awesome for a little football action. I want to play a soundbite for you because we've got L.A. Police Chief Michael Moore, and you got to listen to this soundbite. And this is kind of the problem that's going on with the system, with our country. We talked about this earlier on the show, that in your neighborhood, you had a friend or acquaintance or somebody you kind of knew or whatever in your neighborhood, and you found out they became a cop, and you're like, huh? And you, like, right away you knew, like, that person shouldn't be a cop. And yet somehow they became a cop, right? And that's our problem, that the wrong people are becoming cops. Their system is so flawed. And in a way, it's kind of what Chris Rock was talking about. You get what you pay for. So if you want to pay them $35,000 to start off, or whatever, small salary you pay them to risk their lives, this is what you're going to get. And if all they have to do is get through a police academy, and maybe it's not that difficult mentally or whatever it is, you're going to have a lot of the breakdowns that you're having out in public. Like the Steve Coherence guy, who was never agitated by that person, and yet somehow or another he felt compelled to slam that woman to the ground when he had no business doing anything like that. That's the kind of anger, that's the kind of loss of control that creates the George Floyd situations, that creates the Ahmaud Arbery situations, that creates the Breonna Taylor situation, right? So here's the LAPD chief, Michael Moore. Listen to his statement and what he's saying about the looters and the people that are vandalizing. Listen good. Go ahead.
So what that tells me is that two things. We didn't have protests last night. We had criminal acts. We didn't have people mourning the death of this man, George Floyd. We had people capitalizing. His death is on their hands as much as it is those officers. And that is a strong statement. But I must say that this civil unrest that we're in the midst of, we must turn a corner from people who are involved in violence, people who are involved in preying upon others.
This is the moron that's in charge of the LAPD. He just blamed the morons and the criminals that are damaging the streets and vandalizing, that George Floyd's blood is on their hands. So here's a guy laying blame where it doesn't belong, okay? Because George Floyd did not die because those people were vandalizing. George Floyd died because there were officers that weren't capable of being officers, that don't have any business in being an officer. And he has already come out, and I misspoke when I said the blood is on their hands, but certainly their actions do not serve. It's just like, get out of my face. You meant that, dude. In your eyes, that's how you feel. And that's because you don't cherish the life of George Floyd. So you will easily trash it and compare it to the criminals. So all that guy is doing is trashing George Floyd, who is dead, who was killed by officers. And the only way he can feel better about his profession is by trashing other criminals. When, Michael, let me remind you, Officer Moore, you hire criminals and you just put a badge on them. And you have them. They work for the LAPD. They work at Miami Police Department. They work in Sweetwater. They work everywhere in this country because every precinct has bad cops. Okay? So what Michael Moore needs to do, not the director, but the LAPD chief, needs to shut the hell up. They should probably fire and replace his ass because that kind of thinking is the reason why we're where we're at right now. The word compartmentalize has come up a lot in this show today. You got to separate things. This is not a guy that knows how to compartmentalize and separate the tragedy of George Floyd, the murder of George Floyd, the protesters honoring and fighting for that memory, and for others like Breonna Taylor, and so on and so on. Hundreds, thousands, okay? And then the other area of it, the criminals that have nothing to do with the protesters, that have nothing to do with the memory of George Floyd. But if Michael Moore cannot compartmentalize the difference between all of them, then that's why he doesn't belong as the police chief. Just like that prosecutor locally here that just got fired. And she deserves to get fired. And the two cops also that were posting irresponsible and stupid things and ignorant things. And they also deserve to get fired. Because that's the kind of thinking that we've got to eliminate. That's why we're in this position. Because of that prosecutor in Broward County. Because of that LAPD chief. These are the people we need to eliminate from these kind of positions. Okay? I mean, yesterday, hate to get political, but what happened yesterday with the president, that was ridiculous. You forcibly move those people, all that, for that stupid photo op with a book you never read, and you're holding it upside down, by the way. So, you know, it just amazing to me, man. Just crap that, you know, we got to figure this stuff out. Right people have to be in place in order to have power and run this thing the right way. And treat everybody equally. That's the key, is treating everybody equally. And that's what we got to figure out, man. But I just saw that to me in that LAPD police chief. And to me, that's why we're where we're at. Because of people like this. And we just don't know how to handle human beings. That's really what it is. And yesterday was the perfect example set by the guy that has the most power on how to mishandle people and power and all that. And for a cheese, it's all the president taking a picture with the Bible is just as bad as the girl that stopped and asked the man that was boarding up his business, can she borrow the hammer a second so she can take a picture of her, you know, helping out. So she wanted to take a picture of like she's boarding up a business and then put it on social media like she's some kind of advocate or something. You know, it's just some phoniness. You know what I'm saying? It's just wrong people in place, man. Wrong people in place. Big O not only remove bad people from positions of authority, possibly just remove them. I'm with you, man. Draco says, Trump lost his Republican vote. I was teetering, and what he did for a photo op yesterday was disgusting and authoritarian. Yeah, but you know what? We'll see what this country this on. Yeah, dude. You're going to fix something in the first 100 days that's been going on for hundreds of years. You know, I mean, that's the problem that we have with all of this. You know, those of you that don't want Trump in there, you're using Joe Biden to get him out. That's why the Hillary thing didn't work out either. You know what I'm saying? Problem is that everybody comes up with bad candidates. Republicans and Democrats can't come up with a good candidate. And then you're left there trying to decide who's not as bad as the other. Really, that's what you're doing. So it's not like you have it's not like they're giving you good choices. Don't kid yourselves, please. Okay? Trump or Biden, you're not headed down any good path with either guy. Troy Ortiz says, real change will take generations. People in power will not let go easily. Amen to that, my man. You are 1,000% right. Christopher Dorner told on Bad Cops and got fired. That set him off, not approving of what he did. Yeah, exactly. But that's where this has to change. Down the line, we need to encourage the police officers to come forward. We need them. See, here's the problem. Good police officers are never going to get credit anymore. Now, if you want to be lumped in with all the bad ones, then don't get following everything that's gone on. Your entire department gets no respect. And that's your own fault. That's why I said the other day that it's time for the good cops to step up and weed out the bad cops. It's the only way you can do it, man. We can't see it all behind the scenes. We can't do it. And when you have LAPD police chiefs like that, those are the people you have to replace. I mean, look at what they're doing to Sheriff Tony. So when you do put a minority in place, then all you're going to do is bash him, kill him, and try to, get his ass fired. Because that's all they're doing to Tony. And you know how disgusting and low that looks? So finally you put a minority in place, but then now you're going to do everything to destroy him. I mean, give me a break, man. That's this system is so screwed up. Our society is so screwed up. Jean-Luc goes, oh my God, was he really holding it upside down? You didn't realize that? Yeah, he held the Bible upside down. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Anybody believe that guy's reading the Bible? Come on.
I believe he's trying to grab girls by their privates.
I mean, give me a break.
He talks about it.
Most of us aren't reading.
He's so religious.
I haven't read the Bible since I was in catechism school, bro. Okay, give me a break. Bible. Come on. Man. But what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? Did you guys see that, what's it called? The Raiders, their first round pick, dude injured his thigh doing like, this is how it all breaks down and give you guys Henry Ruggs, the third, is their guy, the speedster. Listen, Raiders rookie Henry Ruggs injured his thigh while moving items into the back of a trailer. His father told AL.com he was just trying to move a trailer or something, move furniture or something, and the trailer just kind of pinned him against a car or a wall or something. There's a lot of somethings in there. He's pretty much okay. I'm about to go out there and see him in a little bit. It was just like a little open wound on his leg, a little incision, like something had stuck him right there on the thigh a little bit. So there you go. With COVID-19 stuff still going on, they wouldn't let anybody in, Ruggs Jr. said. He's just having to walk on crutches, not putting much pressure on it. The Raiders, by the way, are aware of the report regarding the off-the-field injury to Henry Ruggs. Respecting Henry's rights to medical privacy, the team will not be commenting on the report. Well, they don't want to comment because it's their first-round pick. They don't need to comment about possible bad news. And hopefully it's nothing. It's not anything serious. But speed guys and thigh injury is not something that I want to hear if I have a speedster. You know what I'm saying? That is one that kind of leaves you, like, oh, man. And on the Clemson side in college, Justin Ross, a guy that is probably scheduled to be a first-round pick, will miss the upcoming college football season due to a spinal condition uncovered after he was hurt in a practice in March. Dabo Swinney says Ross will have surgery on Friday because of a congenital fusion of vertebrae he has had since birth. Ross has a bulging disc. The condition was found after Ross apparently hurt his shoulder during a spring practice session before workouts were shut down due to the coronavirus. I was shocked, Swinney said. He's 6'4", 205 pounds, and he will no longer be a first-round pick. I mean, if he has a fusion of the vertebrae in his back and a bulging disc on top of all of that, I think he's going to drop out of the first round. But that's got to be just absolutely crushing for a kid like that.
You know, there is a hilarious moment here that you could take advantage because of where we're located listening. Bulging disc.
Oh, I see.
Do you remember
Yes.
ESPN, that wonderful, hilarious, amazingly incredible, unforgettable night?
Yes. Yes. No, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah. We could actually play the real soundbite and everything. Lisa Rose says, when fascism comes to America, it's wrapped up in the flag and carrying a cross. Dean G says, can the Panthers beat the Islanders in a 5-game series when the NHL comes back? I think so. I think that, of course, they could. Will they is the question. And that's where I would say, nope.
If the Islanders are physical, do the Panthers win?
No, not at all.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, the Panthers can't be physical. You get physical with them, they get small. Jean-Luc says, I'm done with choosing the lesser of two evils. They're both trash. I know, but I say that every year. Every 4 years, I say they're both trash. I do that every year, Jean-Luc. And I'm the guy, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. Okay? I don't get locked into a party. Never have, never will. Well, I shouldn't say that. Early in my life, I was strict Republican. Okay? Because I voted for, what was it? Reagan?
Reagan twice.
No, I didn't.
Georgie.
I couldn't vote for Reagan twice. The first one I wasn't old enough because it was 80. I voted 84. That was my first. That was when I was 18. So I voted for his second term, which was the bad term, actually.
Yeah, that's Iran-Contra and all that.
That was Reaganomics.
Yeah.
That was
Ollie North, all that.
And his mind was kind of going. Did we get Bush Sr. right after, right?
Yes. CIA, ex-head of the CIA.
I voted for Bush Sr. both times. Then I voted for Junior the first time, did not vote for Junior the second time. That's when I started then choosing whoever I thought was the lesser of the two evils.
I was undefeated because, like you, Reagan, Bush, Clinton. My first loss was Georgie Jr. when he won and beat, what's his name? Gore.
Oh, okay.
Al
right,
Gore.
that's the second go-around.
Yes.
Right, the second go-around, I voted for Gore. If that was the
No,
one?
that was the first.
The first?
The first.
Oh, I voted for Junior on the first. The
You did?
second go-around, I didn't vote for Junior. That's what it was. Yeah. That's after Junior's and his second go-around, because Junior was a moron. I then said, I'm not doing this party crap anymore. Now I'm just going to vote for the lesser of the two evils. And that's where I started.
Because
obviously it wasn't like that guy was a good vote either. You know what I mean?
I was undefeated until Gore lost to,
Super Boom Shack says, I met Bush Sr. when I was in the Air Force. I like Bush Sr. I thought he did a solid job. I thought he was all right. That one I didn't mind. Junior. But remember, I'm not a party zombie. Some of you out there, you're strict Democrat. Doesn't matter who they give you. You're going to back it up and you're going to try to convince yourself it's a good one. Or the same thing on the Republican side. Doesn't matter who they give you. You're going to talk it up. That's not me, man. I did that as a kid. I stopped doing that. I just can't. I can't do it anymore. Can't do it. Anyway, both parties are screwed. So what the hell am I going to worry about rooting for either party when they're both absolute toast. All right. A couple music notes here on the show. First of all, which this one, I still don't understand these things that are still going on. Did you know that Motley Crue now has finally canceled their Summer American Stadium tour along with Leopard and Poison and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts? So this is their statement. The tour originally was supposed to kick off on June 18 here in Florida. We wanted to continue to communicate with our fans and update you with valid information as it becomes available. The official decision has been made to move all 2020 North American Stadium tour dates to the summer of 2021. What were they waiting for? We're already in June. You weren't going to have any concerts now, right? Although there are some of you out there that are maniacs that you probably would go to concerts and stack yourselves on top of each other. The new stadium dates are being rescheduled. Your tickets will be honored for all postponed shows, and refund policies information will be made shortly. Stay tuned. Be safe. We'll see you next year. They were up to $130 million in ticket sales. Yeah. And to Vince's credit, by the way, Vince Neil apparently has lost all his weight. Apparently he's like back to pretty close to being skinny again. So I don't know if that'll help.
I don't care what he looks like, man. Did he bring his voice with him?
Well, I don't know. Maybe that would help. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Mike Reno would sound better if he lost 150 pounds. Like, Mike Reno is enormous, bro.
Mike Reno looks like he ate Mike Reno.
If I painted Goodyear on the side of him, we could float him over stadiums. Okay? And that's how Mike Reno is. He is big. So they finally canceled that. So that is out. And that'll be next year. That gives Vince Neil another, 8, 9 months, 10 months, 12 months to work out more weight. Now, this I will be tuning in because I got to tell you, during this pandemic stuff, I have enjoyed YouTube like crazy, Facebook, IG, whatever they're broadcasting from. We have something called Abducted by the 80s presents Back to the Basement. And it's kind of the logo of Back to the Future, but Back to the Basement. It's a virtual concert in support and celebration of doctors, nurses, first responders, and healthcare workers. Proceeds to benefit Direct Relief, making sure the courage of health workers on the front line is honored with meaningful support, and the people most at risk in the pandemic are cared for regardless of politics, religion, or ability to pay. DirectRelief.org. It's going to benefit them. This world premiere broadcast will air June 13th at 2 p.m. Eastern, featuring never-before-seen live performances from their living room to yours. For you, buddy, Wang Chung, A Flock of Seagulls, Cutting Crew, Naked Eyes, The Escape Club, New Shoes, Animotion, The Vapors. You going to turn Japanese? Bow Wow Wow's Annabella. So you don't get the rest. You only really want Annabella anyways. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Clive Farrington, who is the lead singer of When in Rome, and Spoons. I have no idea who Spoons are. Special guest appearances from Tiffany, Downtown Julie Brown. Go to abductedbythe80s.com for more information to find out more about it. Abductedbythe80s.com. I love it. And I love that because back in the 80s, we had a running joke, that we would actually abduct our friends. We were going out somewhere, we would stop somewhere, we'd pick up a friend, right? And then they'd be in our car. Oh, yeah, we're going to the corner. And little did they know we were actually going to Disney World. We were going to the Keys. Oh, we did it to
we took him to the basketball state championship.
We took him to Lakeland. Yeah, we took man, he played football all the time. He used to love to play basketball. Damn it, what's his name?
Was he in the back
They
of the
went to
vet?
Miami High. Yeah.
Was he in the back of the vet?
Yeah,
We had him in the.
Yeah, we put him. We abducted one time. This was a running thing in our neighborhood. Okay, you could get in a car. Oh yeah, no, we're going to the corner, and I'm serious. I'm dead serious. They would get in the car, and then all of a sudden you were on the highway, and it was a running joke. And oh no, dude, did I just get abducted? Yes, you just got abducted. And seriously, the keys for a couple. You didn't even bring clothes. You didn't bring money. Nothing. You got abducted. All of a sudden, you were headed to the Keys. You were headed to Disney World. You were headed to Lakeland to go see Miami High. I mean, it might have been taking on Lakeland Kathleen, actually. I think that might have been the one. But I'm trying to remember his damn name.
Was it Curly?
Curly. It was Curly.
It's Curly. Okay.
Yes, we
All right.
abducted Curly.
I can remember him because when we started getting on the highway, it was like
Grove. And then all of a sudden we're on the highway and he's like, yo, where are we going? Oh no, we're going to the Keys for the weekend. Oh no, I can't. You've been abducted. Yeah. Yeah. That was, I don't know if you guys ever played the abducted game, but it was a cruel ass game in our neighborhood. I mean, if you got abducted just for the night, like, oh yeah, we're going to the Strip in Fort Lauderdale, consider yourself lucky.
even the Lakeland trip. It was an up and back.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
Back to like 4 a.m. or
Well,
something like
yeah,
that.
but you didn't have to figure out how you're going to go to Disney World.
No, he didn't.
Or
he
how
didn't,
you're going to
yeah.
hang out for 4 days in the Keys.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
an up and back one-nighter, no matter where you went, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
A couple days, and you're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I'm just saying this because I see, abducted, and that was just like one of those words we had in the 80s back in the day. So just in case you want to enjoy that 80s concert, and I gave you our 80s abducted story, go to abductedbythe80s.com. You got to admit, that's a pretty cool concert, right? That's a really cool concert to watch.
That's a must-see, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to see Wang Chung. That's going to be one of my favorites out of that group right there. Wang Chung was one that I bet you she aged well.
She was smoking.
Oh,
man.
no, super
Ooh.
smoking. Yeah.
Her on that beach.
Yeah.
I Want Candy.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know what kind of shirt, what it
Yeah.
had going on, but it was a great shirt. They need to bring that shirt back.
She was smoking. You know you're a good-looking woman when you can eat, when you like, you look great, right? And then you shave your head and you still look good, or you have a mohawk and you still look good, or you shave your sides and you have this funky cut and your face like still stands out. That's when you know a woman is like, she's got like this natural beauty. Because, we all don't look the same with or without hair, balding, or, you know what I mean? Sometimes it completely changes our look. But then there are those people that are freaking gifted and they look great no matter what. Like the other day I saw Halle Berry in that thing that she did with Dana White, and her hair was like disheveled. You could tell she wasn't like really like fixing herself up. And yet she looked better than 99.9% of the planet fixed up on their best day. Because that woman has this natural beauty that it just doesn't matter. She could be bald. She could have short hair. She could have long hair. She's going to look outstanding no matter what. It's just one of those kind of people. You know what I mean? Some of us have that luck. You know what I'm saying? I, on the other hand, don't look any way. In any way, shape, or form do I look good. I scare the hell out of people no matter what. Ray Gurulong says, Big O, did you ever hear the Wang Chung music from the To Live and Die soundtrack? Oh, he and I talk about it all the time, bro. The To Live and Die in L.A. soundtrack is
Points on a Curve
phenomenal.
album. Yeah,
Yes.
Points on a Curve.
Yeah, man. Of course. Definitely. We talk about that all the freaking time. Because half of the reason why at least for us, why we love To Live and Die in L.A., it's a great movie and it's a great freaking soundtrack. on top of all of that. You know what I mean?
I could still remember sitting in Hialeah Cinema going, all right, when's the dream sequence? Because, like, the star just got shot in the face, bro.
Right,
Wait a minute. We're in the warehouse, and William Dafoe is about to catch on fire. Like, dude, the movie ended. What happened? Dude, it was crazy.
Yeah.
That movie was. Do you know the story about all the counterfeiting and stuff like that?
What about it? What do you mean?
On the set, that the money that they had done, like, and got real counterfeiters that supposedly was kept, and, like, some of the kids brought it back, and, like, yeah, the CIA, FBI, you know, the Secret Service people, like, showed up, and because you're not allowed to have any semblance
of U.S. currency.
And it was a real, actual issue.
Did they get there and they said, "You're beautiful"? Is that what they said? Hey, if you've watched the movie, you gotta know that line. That's just one of the lines. We never played the abducted game, Dougie Fresh says, but had a blast with a good old chloroform, a friend for the holiday game. Chloroform? You like knocked him out? Well, that's a little extreme there. Sounds like you guys had a ton of fun back in the day, and it was fun. But it was a different time back then, and we did. No Cash App or Zelle then. No, nothing. Not then. Nothing. You didn't have money, you were screwed, bro. Unless you call your parents, they send you a Western Union gram. That's about the only thing you were going to get in the 80s. Let's see. Hallie doesn't even have to try. No, she doesn't, man. She doesn't have to try at all. She is perfection, bro.
Her hair that day, you know what we used to call it.
Yeah.
You just got done having sex.
Yeah,
and
right.
You're just disheveled.
And she looks phenomenal, bro. Super Boom Shack put, Mike Reno is eating for the weekend.
Oh my, that's awesome.
That was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. That
Mike,
was excellent.
Push yourself away from the table.
That was good.
Push yourself away from the table.
That
please.
was absolutely awesome, dude. Great stuff by you, sir. Oh, I love that. Did you guys, before we wrap up, did you guys see that Carol Baskin got a victory in court? Like a sweet-ass victory. A sweet-ass victory that could lead to another murder, allegedly. Well, it's not a murder, but it'll be a killing. It'll be death.
I did hear this on the way in. Like, huh?
Well, Carol Baskin, you know, she's the one that her and Exotic Joe were going back and forth. They both own their farms. Whose long-standing feud with Joe Exotic was chronicled in the hit Netflix docuseries Tiger King, right? She has been awarded the zoo once owned by Joe Exotic. An Oklahoma judge ruled in favor of Baskin's Big Cat Rescue Corporation Monday that in its lawsuit against the Greater Wynwood Development Group, LLC, the latter company once owned by Exotic, whose real name is Joseph Allen Maldonado Passage, the order gives Baskin control of about 16 acres of land in Garvin County, Oklahoma. That is the home to the animal park with the array of big cats. GWDC must vacate the zoo land premises within 120 days of service of this order. Vacation of premises shall also require removal of all zoo animals from the zoo land. The judgment also awarded several cabins and vehicles to Baskins, according to court records. You know Joe Exotic. That dude's in jail for 20 years. His boyfriend is running around with another dude, okay, because that was like talked about last week or something. Now, the woman he's been fighting with, he's in jail for attempting to kill, now has also taken his property. That guy has got to be right now in jail about the most miserable human being in the world. He lost his business. He lost his TV show. He lost his popularity because he loved his popularity. Okay? He loses his farm. He loses his boyfriend. And now he's over in jail by himself.
Did you hear that supposedly they were supposed to be coming up with some clothing line while he's in jail? Like,
Well, but-
this is.
Yeah, no, I get it, but he can't make any money off of it.
That's what I thought too.
No, you can't.
You can't
No. Now the boyfriend could be doing it.
put
and
it in
make
the bank for you.
for
No, no.
himself, but then he can use that money for his other boyfriend. So whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm just saying,
He was on top of the world, and now he has everything
Yes.
taken, even his freedom.
Yes. The man has nothing left. Okay? Nothing whatsoever. This has got to put him over the top inside his cell right now, knowing that Carol Baskins, he ends up going to jail, and then she also ends up owning his farm. Wow. That's crazy stuff. Catwoman wanted his tigers all along. Jean-Luc says, how is she walking around free? Seriously. Oh, man, is she the first person to get away with murder? Come on, man. How many cops have gotten away with murder and they're walking around? OJ allegedly got away with double murder walking around. So let's not be surprised that Carol Baskins probably killed her husband and she's walking around. I guess if you do it good enough, you can get away with it in this country. Or if you have the money, which that also helps, ask OJ. You got the right people to represent you, It is what it is. All right, we got to wrap it up here. Again, I didn't even know if I had 2 hours of material today. We did 3 hours and 24 minutes already here. This is crazy.
We need to start playing Kansas before our show. Come sail away with me, because get on the boat. Big O's going to abduct you, and we don't know for how long, but,
you've been abducted. You've been abducted. Jean-Luc goes, so is Jeff getting kicked? Oh, yeah. That other guy who's another, looks like a total lowlife. Super chat, love out there. Thank you all. John Rouse in the house. Boss B99, Big J doing big things, Alexa B, Tommy Italian 305 for life, Drubo, man of 1,005 holds, George Albanese. Thank you all out there as always.
Recent research has shown
Super chat.
makes no sense.
Yeah, you're getting focused on all the wrong sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply in society.
Wasted no time. Super chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super chat.
That was perfect.
Thank you all out there. As always, appreciate everybody keeping it locked here on the program. You all are just absolutely fantastic. Don't forget to continue to share this YouTube link. SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, however you're listening to us, share those links with folks out there and friends. As always, we love you all.
Tomorrow starts our field trips for the week.
Yes. Tomorrow we will head
modified time.
Yes. Tomorrow we start at noon. Remember, when we're at VSS West Pines on Wednesdays, for the next 3 Wednesdays, we'll be out there at noon every Wednesday, okay? Normally it's an 11 a.m. start time, but it'll be noon. All right? So there you go. And you all be good. Bill, Philippe, as always, getting it done on audio and video. All of you out there watching, listening, downloading, viewing, supporting, sponsoring, all of that. And remember, if you want to be a sponsor, reach out to us on my Twitter page, on the DM at Big O Show, or on email right there, Orlando at BigORadioshow.com. If you want to be a proud sponsor of our program.
Go to the podcast, get a partial abduction.
That's right.
Simi.
That's right. Partial abduction on the podcast. Y'all be good out there. Much love.
We'll see you tomorrow. Be safe.